What's happening, lads? Good evening. Wednesday evening. Lots of footy on. Lineups are just rolling in. Hope you're all doing super well. I see Shrew and Major NFT in the building. Cheeky little podium for you too. What's going on, lads? What's happening? I just got out of the shower not too long ago, so I'm still a little bit hot, shall we say. But I'll cool down. I'll be fine. What's going on? Anyone got any anything fancy going on this midweek? I know Chelsea, apart from Palmer, absolutely smashed yesterday. Somebody's flying in 230, I saw, with a full Chelsea stack. I think that could be limited and rare, but yeah, Chelsea have definitely taken the game week by storm outside of Palmer, which is the biggest shock, I guess. But I watched the game. He didn't look on it. He really didn't look on it at all, which I was surprised at. I really was. FPL Insights, what's happening, mate? Dean Iverson. What's going on, lads? Toby. Doing well, thank you, mate. Doing well. I'm banging out a uni essay. Love it. For the fun of it. I don't miss uni essays. Wow. Do not miss uni essays. I just got back from the gym. Half marathon prep is going swimmingly well. And yeah, had a quick shower and we're ready to rock and roll. Oh, thank you, Major NFT. Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm good. Struggling on sleep, but I'm getting there. Yes, Ian, what's happening, mate? Laney, what's going on, mate? This Palmer was supposed to be decent. He was until he just completely... I've just shut the bed last couple of games. Mental. Kubis, what's happening, mate? But yeah, we're back for the monthly gallery review. Did the last one literally at the beginning of this month. Technically, we were late for January, so we did it 1st of Feb. But yeah, we're getting back on track this month. Doing it a couple of days before the end of the month. So yeah, I'm excited for it. We'll see what we can come up with as far as plans and strategies and suggestions and all that fun stuff. I'm excited. Bichetti said no Twitch. Now, I decided to turn Twitch off today for some reason, Bichetti. I can't give you an actual, legitimate answer why this is probably going to satisfy you. I literally couldn't give it to you. I just thought, I don't know why. I just want to go back to YouTube for one stream. I don't know why. I'd love to give you an answer. I just I just untoggled Twitch for some reason. Major NFT said I'm DJing into Asia. Love it. Modern Days, what's happening, mate? What's happening? Heard he's the one to watch. He was. Yeah, I haven't mastered the art of a power nap yet. I used to love a power nap back in school and stuff. After school and whatever, before training, and yeah, I had the power nap abilities on lock, but I swear to God, yeah, since sort of becoming an adult, I say that, well, no, that's almost a lie. Whilst I was in college playing footy, if we train in the morning, yeah, I would have a little nap and stuff after training, but that's pretty standard. But I'm not I don't know. I will probably get tired enough, won't I, in the day to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is I haven't been tired enough to nap in the day right now. But yeah, I do need to master the power nap. I've got the power nap on lock during the nights now. But yeah, in the day I haven't got it down yet. Jacob, what's happening, mate? I've got 2 cards for you to give away. Oh, do you, Dean? Let me have a look. Dean. I think I was in the gym whilst there was an offer. I saw you've received an offer, but I haven't had a chance to look at my Sorare gallery, so let me just do that quickly. Lads, if you've not left a like on the stream, please do so. We've got 31 of us here. So that would be greatly appreciated. With the so just replying to a WhatsApp. Oh yeah, I've got it here, Dean. 1 hour ago. Oh, thank you, mate. Gina Marnie and Makan Aiko. Thank you, mate. I'll definitely be accepting that and giving them away for one of the recent videos. I really do appreciate that. I bought a ton of cards this morning to give away for the yeah, for the the videos that are coming up, or the videos that have been, sorry, that I haven't given away cards for yet. Sorry, replying to a WhatsApp again. Okay, back to it. Sorry. The trick is to nap when he. Yeah, I know. I just haven't. The problem is Major NFT. He's not flipping napping. like he's just a fucking machine. He just eats and doesn't nap. Which is annoying. But nah, he does. Like, he did have a nap earlier, but whilst he napped, I went to the gym. So it's like, yeah, I'm doing like the opposite, the complete opposite of a nap right now, in having to prep for a half marathon. So once that's done, yeah, I think I will work on my the art of napping for sure. Not much has changed in my gallery. Cam says that's okay, man. That's all good. Laney, no Isak, really? What, injured? Sorry, Cymru, are we going to get your streams as podcasts, Harry? Can't play YouTube in the car. That's annoying. You don't have CarPlay. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem, I guess. No, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily put this on Spotify as the issue. Yeah, that is a bit of an issue. You don't have CarPlay, no? Not saying like everyone needs CarPlay, but I'm just sort of observing. Who would you captain between Pasalic, Bamba, McGlynn in the MLS? I'm leaning towards McGlynn just because if he doesn't get a decisive, you get the bigger AA. I mean, not always, but yeah. I get your thinking there. It depends where the matchups are, to be honest. Pasalic is at home, I know that. Bamba is at home as well, actually. McGlynn, who does Houston play this weekend? Let me have a look. Are they at home? Yeah, they're at home. Excuse me, I'm gassy. They're at home to Inter Miami. Don't mind the pink cup. I mean, I'm not necessarily scared of that Miami fixture. Yeah, I probably would go. I would go Jack McGlynn just because he's on set pieces and stuff. Pasalic isn't. I would go McGlynn, yeah. I don't, Jacob, man. I don't play FPL. I haven't got the attention span for it. I know that maybe is counterintuitive to like Sorare or being able to play Sorare, but I just lose interest, mate. I swear. I have a 2-year-old that comes. I'm waiting for Major NFT. The chat was glitching on me. Yeah, I'm waiting for it, mate. I'm sure I'll develop it. If he eats 3 ounce, give him 6, mate. He's on more than 3 already. He's on like 5s. Yeah, he's on close to 5. Nah, he does nap. I exaggerated that. He does nap, but it's not like for long enough periods to where I would want to sleep as well. You know. San Jose collection inbound. I have CarPlay, but no 4G in the mountains. I was gonna say I'd assumed you have CarPlay. It's just, well, I mean, you could you download it? You can download on YouTube. I know you'd need Wi-Fi for that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you could download it pre-mountain, and then as you climb the mountain or up the mountain, then you could listen, I guess. Isak has a slight groin issue. Wow. Travel but not in the squad. Was that known, Charles? Do you think Bamba could absolutely pop off? Yeah, I think he could. Palmer. Yeah. FPL only good for close mates to mouth each other. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, only like 2 of my like high school mates from back home really play it, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not really involved in it, to be honest, at all. Okay, let's get into some gallery reviews then, lads. Let's make a move on things. First up is Doty. And Doty says, my gallery is in the right place to compete in Chal and MLS D1. Let's have a butchers. And how would I suggest transition out of my in-season challenger cards / keep them and play classic? Yeah, we'll get onto that. Let's do MLS first then. I'm hot. Okay, Marks, Bingham. Okay, so we got Daniel, Galise, Mikovic. Okay, nice. You've got 1, 2, 3 goalies, 1 in season. Fine. I get what we're trying to do. Rodriguez. Okay, Melanda. I think the biggest thing for me, I mentioned it yesterday with Laird, like, or maybe I didn't with Laird, but I mentioned it at some point yesterday in my day. Like, I think the MLS, more so than any other league, you need like variety of players, because one week players play at home, the other week, they don't, type of thing. So it's like you want at least, one of the three of your lineups have like as many home. I'm gonna bat on about it, but I think you want as many home fixtures as possible in the MLS in one lineup. It's not gonna, you're not gonna have 15 homes every week unless you have every card in the MLS, and have like an absolute like stupid amount of cards. But as long as you have like 2 or 3 defenders from a couple of different teams, at least like there's a rotation there where you can sort of like bring them in, bring them out of your best lineup every week, and kind of go from there. As far as midfielders go, what we got: Lopez, Vargas, Reward, that's nice, Ricky Puig, Mark Anthony K. Let me floor high to low. I think your mids are a little bit underbaked, if that's even a word. Like, obviously Puig is good. I'm not having Royce personally. Vargas is good, but like he's not up there with like the best MLS mids. And I know that's, you don't need the best, but you know what I'm saying. Hernan's okay. I don't know. Like they're almost there, but I'm like, your forwards here are wait, like Musa, Peck, Paintill's injured, but when he's back, Comungo. Yeah, your forwards are a bit, I'd say a lot better than your mids as far as like concentrated quality. Yeah, I'd maybe look to, I know you've got a little Galaxy collection, which is nice. Kubo, yeah, you've got a few decent players. I don't know. Like, I'm not seeing a designated number, like a number one mid there. Like, it's obviously out of Vargas or Lopez on a week-to-week basis, but like this week they're both away. I know Kansas City are rubbish, but like, I'm not like buzzing to play both of those cards this weekend is my issue. Like, you want to be buzzing to play at least one of your mids, if not 2 every week, in my opinion. So yeah, that's kind of where I'd be maybe looking to improve if we are talking about competing in D1. As far as Chal goes, Trafford, Ruiz Silva, Casilla, Lemons, Pasvia, Delange. So we've got like 6 keepers, 2 in season. Right, at least we've got a little Burnley stuff going on. Okay. Bits of under 23, bits of Sporting, bits of Trabs on Sport. Yeah, there's a couple of nice cores there. I can get behind those. No, RSL aren't the worst team in the league. Yeah, Kansas City's probably worse, I would say. Definitely worse. Not known, wow. So I'm just catching up on the chat. Oh, hey Jorge. Hey Jorge, that's a funny little sentence. But yeah, big hug from Portugal. That means a lot to me, mate. That made me really smile. I appreciate you. Dennis, what's happening, mate? Pasvia might have lost his starting spot. No way. My Dutch is rusty. Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, defenders are fine. Like, I'm not really too worried about that. But as far as, like, transitioning goes, like, I think it's very hard to expect people to want, a lot of these in-season cards that are coming to the end of their in-season-ness at the end of the season, for, like, a reasonable price. Like, we haven't, like, done it yet, Doty, as far as, like, the transitioning out. Like, nobody's been able to experience it yet. So I just think it's hard to, like, give advice on that, because it's not really happened before, really, to this extent anyway. And I don't think there's a one answer that fits everything. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm trying to get at. Like, I struggle to see there being a ton of buyers for some of these cards that are in season that turn classic. If they're elite cards, then yeah, maybe there's obviously going to be a market for them. But for like your mediocre to lower than that, I just don't see. I think you just, for the most part, have to absorb them. I really do. Unless you want to just take pennies on the dollar. Like, I don't see how it really turns, to be honest, with how, valuable in season just nuss is over classic. Gyökeres, yeah, we've got the Sporting Boys, Banza, okay. I mean, there's a couple of nice little, the Burnley, the Sporting. I like the, the differentials in different leagues, and combining those, maybe a sport and defensive stack one week, travel and sport attacking stack, whatever that is. Like, there's a decent amount of variety here to get you through. The Burnley thing's tricky because they're going to get promoted, aren't they, basically? So, yeah, I don't know if I'd be messing with them at this point, because you don't want them in the Prem, really, do you? So it's one of them where, like, if anything, that's the team that, as far as your cards go in Chow, that's the team that you want to really probably ship off, unless you're happy to play them in the Prem, but they're not going to be that good, are they, really? But yeah, hope that all kind of makes sense, mate. Off to Toby. I have just been starting to look at filling out a Dallas and Portland collection for my MLS, and are going to compete the collections in the near future. Wanting to know the best direction, whether to keep adding to MLS or maybe complete a Bournemouth collection, as I'm a fan. I think the Bournemouth thing, I mean, ultimately it comes down to, what ranks higher in your Sorare experience. Is it fun? Is it ROI? Obviously, the mixture of both is, like, optimal for most people, or the norm, but, like, what's the percentage? Is it, like, 70% fun, 30% ROI? Like, you have to make your mind up on that first before, like, committing to either one. I think that's the first protocol, and then after that, you go, okay, well, I think it is a bit more ROI-centric than fun. Then you probably go MLS. I'd probably say MLS. You've already gone into it. I don't think you should, like, half bake it and go like, oh, I'll just buy a Bournemouth stack to have a bit of fun on the side. Like, just commit to what you've already basically almost done, as far as the MLS things go, and then look to, maybe with the winnings from MLS, go buy a Bournemouth stack if you really want to do that. But I would focus on the bread and butter first, which seems like MLS. That seems like what you're concentrating on, like, from your recent buys and stuff. Tobes. So let me catch up on the chat. Oh, Tobias Pearson's in here. What's happening, mate? Leave CK alone watching the last 3 games. May have been a few sheets along the way. Can't score. Yeah. We're definitely top 2 worst in the league, though. Yeah, fair, Lenny. We can't argue with that, can we? They sold Ramage as well. Ferrioli started, underscoring his confidence. Constantinos, what's happening, mate? Top said Defo ROI. Yeah. Then I think that definitely solidifies what I basically said already, for sure. So I was just going to check on... I was just going to check on the Liverpool lineup. I kind of need... Who do I need? Yes, Sobosai starts. Let's go. We'll do Alex Coombs in a minute. I'm just going to double check on... I've got a little Mr. Midweek Under 23 lineup going out. Brennan luckily started. I had to choose between him and Alan Velasco, who came off the bench, but it looks like Brennan's probably going to be the shout, and then Big Wale is killing me here. Yeah. Norgisland, ever since I've won these 2 cards, I just haven't scored a goal. And then this was just a little throwaway, but yeah, happy that that's... Oh yeah, and I put Soboslai there as well. Okay. Up the Sob. Okay. How's the MLS gallery looking for Alex? At Ray, I'm looking to play Classic and craft some in-seasons while the prices come down. At Limited, I've built a Cove collection, 3% in-season with some Classic smashes around it. Love it. May feel like I'm missing a few defenders. Who should I be targeting? Appreciate your thoughts. No worries at all, Al. No worries at all, mate. Let's have a look at the MLS gallery then. Let's have a look. What have we got going on? So Stefan, Kalina, Scholter, 2 Scholters, a freeze. We got 5 keepers with... Okay, so I'll look at Ray after this as well, but yeah. Campbell, nice. Be careful on Campbell. He didn't train today, according to Sorare Deek. Shout out to Deek. So yeah, keep an eye on that. I don't know whether he'll be fine for the weekend. I'm just saying, yeah, keep an eye on it. Glad Yaimar, Tim Ream, The Dream, Burn, Heinzig, Zimmerman. Okay, yeah, we'll come back to defenders in a minute, just as far as options go. But we've got McGlynn, Paslich in season, Angulo, Rusnak, Mukhtar, And Nelly, Zink, Westwood. Yeah, your mids are fine. Your mids are solid. You're in the realm of where you want to probably be. Obviously, the GOAT, Messi, Zaha. Yeah, you're more than fine up front. I'd say you're pretty strong up front, actually. Yeah, defender's always going to be the tricky one with MLS. I mean, at least you're covering the... I think the one thing I'd probably be looking to do is get in some of the in-season defenders to go with Sholter, like a Shaburko or an Amundsen or whoever you fancy from that Columbus defense. I think that would be my first protocol. And then, yeah, obviously the pinnacles like a Wagner, but... You know, if you're looking at like maybe New York, like I'm big on Alexander Hack right now. I think he looks pretty good for the Red Bulls. Obviously, your Miles Robinsons, Engels looked pretty sharp in his first couple of games for Cincinnati. You know, like a B-Tech Wagner. So yeah, I'd say those are my suggestions. Let's see what Rare's looking like. You said it's classic, which is fine. So what we got: Andre Blake, Campbell again, Yaimar. Okay. Espinoza, Berhalter. I don't mind Berhalter as a little budget card. Rusnak, okay, and gold, love it. And then Tuchel and Messi. I mean, yeah, there's not much depth, but I think it'll be fine for now until there's like any crazy injuries, which I don't wish upon you. But yeah, I'm sure that type of team could win things in Classic now and again for sure. Not a plethora of options, but when they're all at home, you know, when things are looking good, mind you. Rusnak's away this weekend, but he's playing his ex-club, so I think he could do pretty well. We just got a new member, Sam. Welcome, mate. Get yourself into the Discord. So I was just a bit late on online of building on the chat. Pasfield will be number one goalie next year. Or next year, Mateus is going to be number one. Got you, Menno. Pasfield was ill Sunday. Okay. Yeah, Wagner's the GOAT. Like, he's the MLS GOAT for defenders. Well, there are my DMPs and Postecoglou dropped Son and Kulusevski for tonight's Premier League. Yeah, I know, that's a killer. Absolute killer. But yeah, welcome, Sam. Get yourself into the Discord if you haven't already. Get yourself into the gallery review channel, and you can let me know what you want me to have a little look at. Next up is Island Trader, and he wants me to have a look at the top 10 cards I should sell. Come on then, let's have a look. Top 10 cards you should sell. Do you play in season MLS? Do you play in season? Do you play classic Super MLS? I'm not. Maybe you do, but I don't think you do. So I'm gonna be putting. Okay, you got Gressel. Let me have a look at your Super Rares. Not that they're easy to sell, but at least I'll be able to make a bit of a judgment on what we got going on here, as far as regions and stuff go. Yeah, so you got a Gressel, you've got a Barriel. I used to have him. Big Christian. Willian. Okay, so yeah, it's like a random array of super rares. Some good cards, some really good cards, and then some just randomers. Like, I don't see why you need a JMO. JMO probably doesn't need to be in your gallery, does he really? Super rare JMO? I'm not seeing any other MLS cards outside of I can't remember where he's gone now, but there was another card, I'm sure. Yeah, I think JMO goes. I think he's an obvious one. So JMO, and then depends if you're playing MLS or not, but like, you've got a Sholter there, a couple of Laysons. I mean, the obvious answer is cards that, you're not using on a week-to-week basis. Those cards probably aren't going to be worth much on paper, because why would you be leaving out, really expensive cards so that, it doesn't really damage much. We mentioned the you mentioned the CJ Santos yesterday. I think if you're not going to play MLS, which I don't know if you are or not, but let's just assume you're not, Could it be worth cashing on some of these MLS bits you've got, like Sholter? You've got Siwa already, Brady. I mean, they're all under 23, to be fair. Do you need all 4 of them? I'd probably assume not. Yeah, so you got a couple of cards, but nothing crazy. I'd probably just... I mean, I know you can play under 23, but I wouldn't keep all 4 of them for the summer. Like, I'd probably keep Brady. I'd get rid of Santos and maybe both of them because they age out in July if under 23 is what you're playing. Like, and then if that's the case, then you kind of... Okay, Jordi or Orellano. It's like, there's a team here, but it's not like that amazing for Classic. I don't know. It seems like MLS could get slashed there for me. MLS gets slashed, I think. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there. Okay, Ian Sorare. In your opinion, what should I get rid of as to not have too many classics next season? Happy to run threadbare or move into in-season Asia. So looking for some advice of what doesn't make... Oh, wow, go ahead. Just scored against AZ. Against PSV, sorry. What doesn't make the cut moving forward? Like classic? Or anything, I guess, because you're saying, yeah, for in-season next season. I mean, it's got to be cards that are in teams that are basically going to get promoted, right? That's probably the first thing I would say if we're talking contender good cards. Like, if any of these players are playing on teams that, you know, they could, like, highly likely get promoted, you know, they're obvious sells for me because you wouldn't be able to use them in contender next season despite being classic or whatever. I think that would be my first, like, sweep, like, who's close to doing that. And then sort of take it from there, I would say. I mean, you might not have any in that position, and if you don't, then okay, then that doesn't make sense. But yeah, I think it's probably like contenders. I mean, every region is the same, but you know, they are subject to having moves because they play well to challengers and champions and whatever, and then obviously the promotion side of things as well. I would probably just scan through like you know your top 50 players, and you know are there 10 that are very likely to move next year because they've been so good this year type of thing. You might want to jump off of them is kind of where I'd be looking at, I think. Gully double BCM, stop. I didn't need to hear that. Did not need to hear that. Ian said never thought of it like that. See, sometimes a different perspective can definitely help. But yeah, I think that is one of the things that 2-0 go ahead, by the way. I just got a notification on my phone, on my watch. Fucking Wally getting BCMs. Of course, Hoiberg is churning. Oh, he's a killer, this lad. Absolute killer. That is brutal. Okay. What we got going on then for Milan? How is the MLS gallery looking? Where should I improve? Players who I maybe can buy to improve. Okay. Let's have a look, mate. Frigalise Guzan. So you've got all classic keepers. Okay. Santos, Nuhu, Farsi, Big Teenage. Okay. Forsberg, Delgado, Pasalic, Angulo, Artur. Yeah, decent mids. For 3 teams that... Cengiz Under hasn't got his visa yet, so you're out of him for now. Zaha, Benteke, Ojeda. Yeah, forwards are really good. I'd say you probably need another midfielder to have 6 in here, I would say. To give you a bit more depth. Like, who makes that better? I'm high on Jaquim Pereira right now from Minnesota. Like if we're talking like budgety guys, Ashley Westwood's pretty standard. I don't think he'll light up the world, but I think he'll be fine. I think the biggest thing for you is probably trying to turn one of these somehow into an in-season keeper, because having the four outfield, like having all your outfielders be in season, like it's fine, but it's not optimal because a lot of people will be playing with like a classic Messi or whatever, and that does really help having the the in-season keeper. So I think, yeah, the in-season keeper and maybe a midfielder are the two things that stand out to me there, mate. Cameron B. Cameron B. I cannot spell. I'll look at the chat now. Sorry, lads. Why can't I spell? Cameron B16. Oh, it's Bratton. That's why. I'm an idiot. Sorry, lads. Let me get back to the chat. Hi, mate. Relatively new to Sorare. Spent bank on MLS with no idea if it's going to be good. I got D1 and D2, then had one that didn't qualify. That's fine. Just bought Messi, though. Going for it. Wow, CJ. You're going for it, mate. You're going all in. You're going all in. I don't mind it, mate. I don't mind it at all. Silver lining. Ooh. Agalia's been on sets. Nice. Sullivan's nice, Mojo. Yeah, nice shout. Great shout. Great shout. Yeah, I like Sullivan a lot. Great shout. Okay, Cam says, currently sitting waiting with my Bundesliga stuff, just seeing what I can win. Moving slowly to MLS for summer comp and have a few cards. Do you think moving to MLS now is a good idea, or wait a few weeks for card prices to go down? That's if they do. Would be more of a budget style to play around, 150 to go into it. I see you're already in, mate. I think you've already dipped in. I like your Boa. Berkey's a decent keeper. I like Noah Eli. Hannes Wolf's okay. Maxi Marias can score pretty well. You've got like a team there, I would say. Omar Fernandez is decent if he plays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish, 6. Yeah, you got six or so players. Yeah, if, I mean, depends how much you like the league. Like it depends how your thirst for it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say like you're gonna make loads of money and stuff. Like nobody knows how that's gonna work. The prize pools aren't amazing in comparison to what the prices have been going for. So I think going into MLS thinking that you're gonna just blitz in and win loads of money back and whatever. Like I don't think that's realistic, unfortunately. But yeah, if you want a bit of fun, if you want to follow the league and have a few players at stake at like a cheap enough price, I think it works. I think what you're doing there, or like what you've started to do, is making sense. Yeah, but my biggest advice is don't deviate from the goal, which is Bundesliga right now. I know that's ending soon, but like don't. Yeah, the grass isn't always greener, basically. With different leagues and stuff. Like that'd be like the biggest thing I would say. When it comes to moving over leagues and changing strategies all the time, like sometimes it's fine to change strategy for sure. Like that's more than fine. But like make sure you've given it your all first. The strategy that maybe didn't work initially. That's kind of where I'm at with that. No worries at all, Mardace. Enjoy the United game. Enjoy the United game, mate. So yeah, hope that makes sense, Cam. Okay, Tom Halfyard, who's currently playing five-a-side or has played five-a-side. And he said he's going to drop a Cole Palmer on us, which is probably a stinker. Tom says, would really appreciate you taking a look at my MLS Riz. I'm not done picking up cards by any means, but don't want to run before I can walk, as we are only one game in. Your opinions on who logically would be the next smartest pickup with a budget around 700 to 1,000 would be great based on what I already have. Also, I'm not convinced yet whether it's worthwhile even trying to go for the target mode or not. Part of me wants to have one team out of 3 that goes for it, but I don't want it to be at the detriment of my strength and my teams. So I'll either go all out or don't prize it at all. Is it worth it? The issue is we're never going to know if it's worth it or not, Tom. Like is like my first answer to that. You're the man, Harry. Always. Thank you as always. Keep up the great work, Tom. You're an absolute legend, mate. So the first thing I'm going to say is on the whole hitting the target or whatever. It just depends how your teams look for that given week. Like if this weekend I look at my teams and go, you know what, the quality of my first team doesn't drop using 5 in-season cards compared to 4 and 1, then I'll go for it. But if it considerably drops the quality of the 5 to the point where the 4 and 1 is the obvious play, but you obviously not being able to play for the streak, then you go for the 4 and 1. It all depends on that weekend, those matchups, and how it all looks for you. on a week-to-week basis for me, honestly. Like, I'm not sort of dead set and going, oh, it's going to be, I'm going to use, five in season in one lineup and then 4 and 1 in the other 2. Like, I'm not set in stone anything. Every week is different on this game. Every single week. That's probably the biggest advice I would give on top of that. And then what we got, Guzan, Gully FC and Berkey. Okay. Palencia, Kessler, okay. Santos, Totland, Amador, Hernandez, Derek Williams. Okay, so you got a bit of St. Louis, bit of ATL, a little bit of Cincy going on. Okay. Araujo, Luna, Gil, Pasalic. So you got the Hartel, Delgado, Luna, Gil, Pasalic. That's like 5-6 if he plays 7-ish. 7-ish mids for 3 lineups is fine. Langioni, Benteke, Buanga. So you've got Oriana, you've got Buanga, Benteke. So you've got like 3 good forwards, and Langioni's decent. I'd be tempted to turn that Buanga into a Messi with the budget you've told me. I'd get rid of Buanga, bring in Messi. Like classic. Well, I mean, depends if you want to really go in season, but again, you don't have to sell Buanga. But I just think turning that classic Buanga into a classic Messi would look a lot better. And then I would say you're a little bit light on mids, just a little bit. Like Gil, Hartel, fine. Then it's like Luna, Pasalic, fine. Then it's like Diogo, and then it's like Araujo. Delgado's probably in there as well. Like, I just probably want one more, to be honest. What I'm probably going to say with the Oriano. I'd love to see an Evander in there somehow as well. Like bringing in Evander and Messi would change things a lot here for me. Classic Messi, maybe an in-season Evander, or whatever way is kind of cheapest or whatever. Like, I think that elevates this gallery or the lineup building capacity of this team to a different level. I think that's where I'd be at with that for sure. Hope that makes sense, Tom. And hopefully we hear from you after your little 5-a-side adventure. Okay, James is up next. I'm currently having issues with Challenger Rare and Super Rare in season. Happy for them to move to Classic next year, but looking for a few players to really lift the floor, under £50 per player at Rare. Okay, let's have a little look. So you're playing Challenger in season as well, I see. But I guess Rare is where we want to be. No, not champion, Challenger. Okay. So that Jungdal situation's a bit tricky, isn't it? Trubin, I hope he's number 1 again for my sake and your sake. I don't know what's really going on there, but you got Layson, a Pasvia, a Barkas, and then obviously some of the classic lads in there. Okay. So you have a Barkas, but you don't have an El Karauni. That should be illegal. Go and get yourself an El Karauni. I think he's pretty cheap right now. As a defender, you got a couple of good defender options, though. I wouldn't take that away from you. But yeah, definitely go and get yourself an El Karauni. Paxton, like it, Haspalat, Samansky, Sara, Bonsu Bar, Brownhill. Okay. An in-season Vieira, could that change things a little bit for you? Probably doesn't move the needle too much, but I think it does something. Let's have a quick look at just what Challenger's looking like right now, just as far as like who's doing the business, or more importantly, who's going to continue to do the business, because that's kind of where we want to be looking realistically. So yeah, the Club Bruges boy Michele is doing well, isn't he? Watanabe. Oh yeah, I want a little bit more from the L15. L15. I'll just do that for now. Just so it filters out some of these cards that aren't really playing too often. I'll Otamendi, big Harris is up there. Harris is cheap as chips as he only has classics, but Otamendi, there's probably risk that he leaves, isn't it? Jacob Brown's done his leg. Solomon, I guess there is in-season cards of his. There's not for Dan James. I mean, Osman in season's coming down to a decent price, isn't he? He's probably going to leave, but like, not terribly priced. It seems like everyone's below 50 quid. Zorgan's a player. If you don't have a Zorgan, I think that could be a nice little addition. Zorgan makes a lot of sense as a mid. Hainan's very, very solid if you're in the mid category. Get yourself a Yuito Suzuki in season forward. Go get yourself one of them. The scores in Chal aren't even that high, are they? As like a group of players, like they're not that incredible right now. This kid's supposed to be really good, but he doesn't have many mints, I don't think. Dorgalez is a bit of a player. 16 quid. I know that's probably not in season, but I mean, Strikers I've always been a fan of since the start of the season. The Kurz Mike is decent. Jordy Classy. Like, there's loads of players you can probably get in on here that, in the right fixture. I mean, I'm a massive Franjo fan. Franjo's the boy. I'm also a big Bilal Bohemi fan. What's his in-season going for? Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, 30 quid. He's not cheap, but he is under what you said. I think an El Karauni makes sense with your Barcast, and then it's like, does your forwards need a bit of buffering? Like, I think Noah Lang's injured. I'd probably say forward is where I'd be shopping before anything else outside of El Karauni. So it's like, go and get yourself Yuito Suzuki forward card. I think that makes a lot of sense, personally. I think that does elevate your gallery a little bit for a decent price. I don't know what his in-season is, but it's probably around 50 quid, I think. Okay, JP. Need some advice on what to do with all my in-season champ cards as we gear towards the end of the season. At the moment, I'm leaning towards holding them until the end of the season, hopefully yield an ETH. After that, sell them for cheap to free up some cash for prep for next season. Let's have a look at your in-season cards. Because I know you had an insane, you had an insane, like a classic gallery for a long time, didn't you? Let's have a look. Samba Ruli. I mean, like, you've only got to look at, like, the classic version of Ruli. Like, what's that going for? 90 quid. The floor of the in-seasons of that. So, I mean, you could get what you paid for him there, like, right now, roughly, if he was to sell for the... And you've yielded a good amount from him. It kind of just depends when you've got to sell him. If you're going to sell him, you have to sell him at a point where, like, it's still worth it for the buyer to buy them. Selling them right at the end of the season is going to do nothing for nobody, because you're going to get the least amount of cash and the person buying is going to get the least amount of utility. So at least with these in-season cards, give the buyer, a little carrot. Give them a couple, 5-10 games, or whatever, 5-6 games left to yield whatever they end up paying for those cards. That's kind of my advice. It might not be possible on every card, but I think that would be my best advice. And, like, you don't have anything, like, incredible. Like, there's some really good players here, like Prem cards and stuff, but there's no, like, insane cards outside of, maybe like a Foden and Olmo. I don't really know what they're going for, but Højbjerg's very good, obviously. I don't know. Like I said, you've got a ton of classic stuff already. I think if you're going to sell them with, like, a little bit of utility left, because that's going to benefit you price-wise. And it's going to benefit the buyer, because he's going to have a lot more utility, So much. I'm quite happy with where I'm in terms of Premier League in season. However, I am going to add a few pieces to my rare team. I'm keen on playing in the summer just for fun. I want to get an MLS team. But for me, it would likely be a collection reasonably priced, as I would just want to watch one team and support them. Which team would you recommend? And also, what are the smashers? So you want a collection plus smashers from not that collection, I'm guessing, from that statement. It's so hard to say, like, buy this MLS collection right now, because we've only seen one game, Sorry about that. Wait there. Wow, Haaland 1-0. Haaland, Haaland. Yeah, one collection from the MLS. I mean, I love Cincinnati personally. I think Cincinnati have a good team. Oh, FC and a 1-0 up. Wow, Nigran, of course. Quinn Dog, what's happening, mate? Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Cincinnati fan, but I can't imagine that's cheap because Celentano's not cheap as a keeper, you know. Reasonably priced. You need one of them where like the goalie's a bit old, basically, but like not Guzan because he's somehow one of the more expensive keepers, even in classic. I think. Who springs to mind this season? Chicago have an under 23 keeper though. Again, that'll be a bit overpriced just because of that utility. I mean, the Red Bulls are fine-ish as a collection, and then you've got to be adding your Messi's and your Carlos Heels and Mukhtars and I mean it's very obvious to know who the smashers are in the MLS or in MLS, sorry, Evander's and like if you're gonna get a reasonably priced collection and then add smashers, those things are like polar opposites, aren't they? Really, in a way. The San Diego one could be quite fun. It's a new collection though, but yeah, they wouldn't have classic, would they? Sorry, so that wouldn't work. Seattle are probably the one that where like there's less turnover in their team, I would say, because you'll be able to get all the pieces that still kind of play now for like collection or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that, mate. Okay, Borschetti. I'm pretty happy with my La Liga, but feel as I have too many. So who would I sell to maybe get another star until the end of the season? Other than Barca collection and obvious and of the smashes I have. Let's have a look. Taking my allergy pill. Kabasi Kunde. She's saying, who should you sell, yeah? I mean, for me, it's always just sell the cards that like you just don't ever fancy using. On a week-to-week basis. Like, there's got to be cards in this gallery that don't see the light of day. From your, as far as your Liga stuff goes. Well, Nico's on fire, isn't he? Julian Alvarez. So hard to say who you would really get rid of. Like, don't get rid of cards that like you plan on playing on a week-to-week basis until the end of the season. Simple like that. That's kind of the only way I can really describe it. Like if cards aren't seeing light of day for you, then they go. But as far as like bringing in the star, I mean, who are you missing? Bellingham and Mbappe, really, and Yamal. But you've already got Rafinha. I guess Vinny as well. Did any of them move the needle? Yeah, I guess Mbappe maybe moves the needle a little bit with his current form. I think that might be something. But yeah, as far as like who you're selling, it's just got to be the ones that aren't seeing light of day. Obviously, it's hard to sell the Barca ones in that because of collection, like you said. But like, yeah, your Danny Parejo, like, I don't know. But like cards like this, like it just doesn't add up enough, does it? 36 pence, like selling Oriol Romeo's just aren't gonna fund an Mbappe is the issue, That's that is the big issue. But like, does Bade play for you? Players like that, like if you're not playing him in lineups ever, they go like that. I think that's the criteria. Also, should I sell my MLS Classic cards? All good scorers and move to in season with lower quality or stay in Classic. Let me have a look. Let me see how good of a Classic situ they are. Fry, Galise, Brady. Okay, so all the keepers. So you've basically got as good as Classics you can really get. I'd test it out. Test the first couple of weeks. See if any of these teams are getting anywhere near it, even with the best cards. If they're not, ship them off. Give them a few more weeks, I would say, before deciding on that. Okay, Coco. Have I spelled that wrong? There we go. At this point, if I buy any card, it will be for next season. But can you suggest me some strategies with this gallery to go for next season? For example, sell all my cards and build again. Let's have a look. How much is it worth? $1,000 on paper. It's basically a Prem gallery with a couple of rare cards. Obed's under 23, isn't he? Bit of Champ. I've already mentioned it already, but basically I'd just repeat myself and say, if you're going to sell these in-season cards, make sure there's enough utility left for the buyer to want to buy those cards. Like, would you buy Bruno Guimaraes with a game left? Think about what you would do, and then work around that. Basically, I would say. The issue is, working towards next season. We don't know what next season looks like. We don't know what the competitions are going to look like. There's obviously still going to be a Prem and whatever, but like we don't. There's so many unknowns with this game. Like, you can't look forward too much. You've really got to play in the now. I think that's. Pache says just get rid of as many cheap. I would say, well, I'd get rid of the cards you just don't use, basically, outside of the collections. Not so much if they're cheap or not, just if they don't use them. That would be like my first criteria. And then if they're just cheap, then you're probably not using them. So they kind of, it kind of intertwines. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, just sell cards that you just don't have any. They don't see the light of day when it comes to your lineup builds every week. The 15 cards, and similarly here, like, if you are going to sell this amount of cards, you probably want to go and do it now in the next couple of weeks. And then it's about keeping the money and seeing what happens next year with how Sorare do things. And did you have fun playing Prem this year? If you didn't, then okay, well. Time to learn Challenger or time to learn Contender if you really want to do that. If you don't, then go play La Liga or whatever that looks like to you. You've got to have a thirst for a competition. Like, there's no one competition that is like better than the others. It's just like, how good can you be at that competition than other people? Okay. Nick M and the Vols. Focus on under 23 rare and then one solid lineup for in-season rare. Excuse me. For Champ, Challenger, and Contender. Would you move out of any of these in-season lineups to consolidate and strengthen somewhere else? Think they can compete. Let's have a look. So Champ in season looks like Champion season, so De Gea, Donnarumma, Barco, Branthwaite, Hakimi, João Neves, Tom. Yeah, I'd say Champ can easily compete. Challenger, Penders, Koos the Goose, Shinton, Flamingo. Okay. Haspo. Some good forward options. Brown injured now is a bit of a killer, but yeah. Ampman, Stoikers, Bakayoko. It's weaker. Like, there's more cards, but I would argue they're a little bit weaker than like what you could consolidate in, like what you have in Champ. And we're looking at Contender, 3 good keepers. Muhim Uwa. Mids are a bit dicey, I would say, in Contender. forwards the same. I'd probably chop contender off before challenger and champion if there was one that would have to go. I would say I'd consolidate contender. You've got some good keepers-ish. Vice doesn't score, like, I mean, none of them really score that well. I know there's some under 23s there actually, so you're probably looking at Castameyer's like the keeper. So yeah, that's fair, but I'd still say that's the weakest of how the three regions look, to be honest. Because I have so many cards, I just make trash lineups in Classic All-Star just to have it. I guess I can cut down. Yeah, I would do that. Definitely cut it down. If they're not like being productive for you, I think for sure cut them down. I'm just looking at the score. Sorry, yeah, Haaland 1-0. Anything else? United 1-1. Wow, Dogu error led to goal. Shocking. Oompa Loompa gallery reviews are for members only, mate. If you want to become a member, be my guest. But yeah, it's £1 a week to get involved. You get gallery reviews every month and lineup builds every game week and monthly and Discord access to the best Discord in the Sorare community by a country mile. So yeah, there's my sales pitch, mate. If it's not good enough for you, that's completely fine. But yeah, that's me all on the line for you there, mate. I can't sell her any better than that. Okay, Hat Legend. Gallery has been pretty stable for the last couple of months. I'm going to try and fill out my 3% collections. I have a lot of great cards in both leagues, Prem and Bundas, but I just can't get the lineups right for the life of me. Feels like whatever I do, the opposite happens. A big part of my strategy is to build a strong base of cards to build up for next season, and I still want to yield a little bit of this season. What am I doing wrong? Am I just unlucky? Also, quick thoughts on MLS setups if there's time. Let's have a quick look at your MLS, and I'll just look at some of your lineups that you're building. Big Brad, love it. Santos, a couple of Brads, a couple of Santoses, okay. And a little cheeky Willis and Andre Blake. Big Paddy McNair. Okay, so you've got the San Diego stuff going on. I like it. And then you've got the Atlanta stuff again. I'm not opposed. A bit of Miami going on. Goncalves, Zinc. Okay, a couple of in-season mids. I'd probably look to strengthen those if you can at some point. Your forwards look strong though. Your in-season forwards. Yeah, I'd maybe say a couple of mids would probably do you nice there, I would say. Alongside Zinc. I don't think Goncalves is going to be that. I mean, he's fine, but he didn't even start this weekend, so not a great start. But yeah, get a couple of mids in there. Maybe a De La Torre and who's the other mid that plays for San Diego? The captain. Yeah, Terzakov. Zverikov or whatever his name is. Yeah, he looks pretty good. But outside of that, yeah, the classic stuff's wicked. Let's have a look at last weekend for Halligen. I mean, you won cash in Bundes here. Who did you captain? Yeah, Grimaldo. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to foresee you can see how Grassi scores 100 here, but also that's a wicked lineup though. How close are you to big money? 71 points. Yeah, that's tough. It's competitive, as we know. That week was big, wasn't it? I mean, Davis didn't start. He still ended up scoring pretty well, to be fair. Musiala scored really late. I mean, you're not doing too much wrong there. Miri had a nice bit of AA. He was just getting the DA. Yeah, I don't think anyone knew about this Brand thing, did they? Like, if Brand plays there, you're easily walking to not easily, but you're easily walking to £5, aren't you, at least? Had someone just started, you got your captaincy basically, bang on. That one's unlucky. Really unlucky. Under 23 Classic. Okay, I see you. Premier League. Okay. D1. Yeah, I'm surprised you went with the Forest stack in D1 against Newcastle. Like, that game had goals written all over it. Now, I know it's easy to say, well, go play the West Ham one. I heard what you said with Laird today. Like, yeah, very hard to do that. But, like, I know it's easy to say, but I'm playing the Liverpool stack away to City all day before the Forest stack away to Newcastle. Just with the nature of, you know, the amount of goals that Newcastle can score, and City just being not that great right now. Like, for me, that would have been the play. I know that doesn't really change much. Really, Gibbs White didn't really do too well, but do you know what I mean? Like, little things like that. But again, that's just, it's easy. Like, I'm saying this after the fact, aren't I? So I'm not trying to sound like a fucking clever clogs or anything. I'm just saying that would have been my process before the game. But you're not miles off it at all. Like, your lineups are scoring good scores. It's just the odd player now and again letting things down, which we all come into contact with. Like, it's, and even harder to like bypass that in limited, you know, because it's just so many people. Like, you just get swarmed by lineups. You know, there's no room for error in limited at all. That's the big issue with limited. Okay, Jason, what is the next step for my gallery? So, want to strengthen my limited MLS side, and once that's strengthened, I want to move into rare, and also looking to get into champ. Okay, love it. MLS limited. Sorry, MLS limited. Tarbell, Pulskamp, Guzan, Freistuva. Nice little array of goalies. A couple of in seasons, which is great. Big Zimmerman. Roldan. Okay. Defenders are a little bit dicey, I would say. Maxi, love it. Pasalic, Hartel, Arajo, Nagby, and you've got the armor on. Yeah, mids are solid. Forwards, yeah, with Dryan, Zaha, and Bamba. Yeah, that makes it look a lot better. Yeah, I'd say a couple of defenders, like a couple of like nailed, like actual good defenders at home type of players. I've mentioned Hack. I love Zimmerman. Zimmerman's like your standout there. Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of defenders is the issue, but like your Miles Robinsons, like you just get some of the certy like centre backs. Tangled Berry or something, mate. Haven't heard clever clogs. Used to get using in school all the time, that, didn't it? Clever clogs. And then yeah, it's about, you know, sort of climbing the ranks. As far as, yeah, you know, scarcities go after that. But yeah, I would get a couple of defenders in there to just bulk it out a little bit. Give yourself a better chance of kicking on. But yeah, wish you all the best getting into rare, and we'll look into that, you know, when that happens, and obviously champ as well. Okay, Baz Barrett. Big Baz. Okay, Lukey Barrett. What pieces, if any, do I need to strengthen my MLS rare team? I want to pick up another 2 in-season rare goalies. Who are your suggestions there? And then the gaps to fill. Okay. So I'm really not fussy when it comes to MLS keepers. Like, I'm pretty, like, just get anyone in. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but like maybe everyone apart from like a Pulskamp. Outside of him, like, genuinely, I'm not really too fussy when it comes to MLS keepers. Like, I don't think that's where the differential comes in. Like, I think it comes in as like, how good is that classic smasher that you've got, and has he scored 100? Now, I know if everyone has Messi and he scored 100, like, doesn't really do much. But if it's somebody else that scored 100, like I don't know, a Jesus Ferreira or whatever, like somebody less popular, like those are the ones where having the in-season keeper that has just scored a 40 or a 50, but having the 100 from, you know, classic Jesus Ferreira and he's captain, is just fucking massive. You know, it's really big, despite maybe the keeper not having that clean sheet. Let's have a look then. So you've got Ivasic and you've got a couple of old keepers. What I would probably do is, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 6. I know you might want to play classic, which is fine, but like, yeah, the cheapest way to do this is probably sell a couple of those classics and turn them into, or add a bit of money and turn them into in seasons. Jordi Alba, nice. Again, that's a nice classic card to like use as a, you know, a classic smasher. You know, outside of like a Messi, like the obvious one. Martinez, Rawls, Kesler. Yeah, Kesler could be nice as an in-season if you get him. Janssen was injured, Aaron Long. Yeah, I'd say you need a couple of in-season defenders here that are a little bit more certified. Maybe like a Kesler. I mean, Zimmerman's quite expensive, but yeah, Zimmerman. These, yeah, the Revs lads, that seem pretty good. They're not bad at all. Excuse me, Jordi, Almiron, Brian, McGlynn, Hartel. Yeah, you've got all the mids you'd probably want. Oh yeah, Forsberg. Yeah, I like what you got going on in midfield. You've got the GOAT, Peck, Bamba, Campana, Navarro, Cabral. Yeah. Again, it's always the same thing. It's always like everyone just seems to be short on defenders, I would say. But yeah, as far as keepers are going, mate, like I genuinely like, I'm pretty, like I'm not fussy. Let me have a look at what the prices are. Like I bought a Sean Johnson last night. He's not going to be good for the most of the away legs that are coming up. But when he gets a little home run consecutively, then that's kind of where I'm pretty happy to roll him out, and it really alleviates me, allowing me to play like a classic Evander or whatever the card is. I was just gonna have a look at the price of the instant buys, but sorry, let's just do rare. So you're getting a starter up until Cabral. I think Cabral's a starter. So like, I mean, Calendar's a bit funky, isn't he? But yeah, Sean John. Willis seems a decent price, but like he's getting on a bit, isn't he? I like Pice. I think Pice is a very good keeper. He's an Indonesian international. I think he's a decent age and all that fun stuff. I think Pice sort of stands out in that like lower-ish bracket. But ultimately, none of the keepers really stand out. I am a Coronel fan. I think he's a decent keeper. He had a bit of a howler on the weekend, and then you're getting into like the more expensive lads here, really. Which I mean, you can do it. I don't know. I just think this, it's just so hard to really forecast these clean sheets all the time in the MLS. Like there's just so many goals, as we know. So, but yeah, like 300 quid. I just don't see the point in spending that type of money when you could just go and buy like a Sean John and then buy a classic Messi. I think that scores better than in season Fry and then an in season Jordan Morris or whatever. You know what I mean? But shit, he said, I know you don't support a team, but who would you follow more than the others in the MLS? Ooh, it's tough. Obviously, being a Tennessee boy, I do kind of have to say Nashville. But at the same time, like I do have a soft spot for Atlanta as well. I also have a soft spot for the Red Bulls and Cincinnati. Like, I say I did support Cincinnati because of Acosta last year, but now he's left. That really hurts me. But I would say last year I was definitely a Cincy fan, honestly. But now he's left. Yeah, that does make it a little bit trickier for me. I can't lie. It does make it a little bit trickier. Yeah, I'll be honest. I can't narrow it down. There's like three or four teams, unfortunately, and I'm sure that won't satisfy your what you wanted maybe out of me. But I can't lie. I just don't have a standout. Am I saying I'm a Dallas fan? Nah, I can't say I am, unfortunately. But I did. Dallas was one of like the first teams I actually really liked because of Jesus Ferreira and Velasco and stuff. Like, because I had those Sorare cards like really early in under 23. Like, I had a soft spot for Dallas from quite early on, honestly. So yeah, maybe that gets reignited now. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Let's go into Jordan Watts. Currently just focused on Challenger, but not sure I should start building elsewhere, or if my gallery is missing anything to go a bit stronger. Any advice on what to do over the summer when some leagues stop, and if I should sell cards on now? Also thinking maybe doing some MLS Classic over the summer to keep me going. Thoughts? I don't know. As far as like the MLS stuff, like if you've got an itch, fine. But I wouldn't just do it for the sake of it. Like if you're gonna do it, commit to it. Like don't just do it for the sake of it, because you're gonna just get bored of just like not competing. Like you shouldn't just go into a comp thinking, oh, I'm just gonna just like be here to take part. I'm not saying you're thinking that, but I'm just saying in general, like I don't think that really works anymore. Yeah, and as far as your Challenger stuff goes, let's have a look. So you got Big Lars. Very Road to Glory-esque gallery, isn't it? It's tough. Like I said, I've said it already, but a lot of these cards just won't have much value in a couple of weeks, a couple of months. When the season finishes. Sorry. Yeah, it's just one of them where you either absorb it and keep them for classic next year, and hopefully some of them turn into smashers. And if you want to sell them, you sell them. If you don't, you don't. Or and then continue to hopefully yield until the end of the season. But yeah, it's hard. Like, it's hard for me to be in your shoes because I don't know how much you like challenge. Obviously, you like it enough to play it, but I don't know how much you got a thirst to play contender or play, the Prem. Like that. That's the issue. Like, I'm not in your head there to know those things. But yeah, I used to actually welcome the summer off on Sorare. Like, I used to not play, and then I started playing under 23, and then whatever. Like, I've always played. Sorare throughout the years, but for me, I always look at it as I earned the right to play over the summers. Like, back then, there was no limited, so you had to have high value cards to play throughout the year, and I didn't have that for a while. I had to win my way into being able to play all through the year. Now with limited, is so accessible to just play on a way smaller budget and still have a bit of fun and compete to a degree. So. Yeah, I wouldn't tell you not to play MLS, but don't just do it for the sake of the game. Wait 6 weeks or 2 months, and then you've got a bit more money to go into the in-season stuff for the new year if that's what you want to do. But it's tough. You've got some good cards here, but what you sell them and you get I don't know, 60 quid. There's that. I don't know what that does for in-season next year. I think I would just keep these now and just rinse them to the end of the season and see if you can win a little bit back off them, honestly. I really would. Maxime, the boy. But make sure you're not playing in the exact same lineups as me, otherwise we won't be able to win together. Sorry, my nose is playing up. My Norges boy is killing me. I picked the wrong one. I picked the wrong Norges boy. Picked the wrong one. Okay, how many we got left? Mohammed, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24, 25 left. Okay. Hour 13 in. I think we're doing well for time. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. Went harder on Contender Rare. Now I am lost. Have some MLS pieces, but not what I envisioned before I bought them. Mohammed, you got lost in the sauce. What's happened? Did you buy Res? Yeah, you bought a couple. Okay, yeah, you did buy Res. Wow, Rangers are losing. Let's have a look. Yeah, Pekka Costa, McGlynn, Yeboah, Campana, Big Kai, Tillman, Mikovic, Garces, okay. Luna. I mean, there's one in-season team there, isn't it? Ish. Do you have an in-season keeper? Yeah, it doesn't look like you haven't committed to the in-season keeper yet, have you? That's kind of the issue, I would say, mostly because you have some amazing classic cards, but you're not going to be able to use them unless you buy the in-season keeper. You either sell, I think you either sell all your in-season cards and move into contender, like you said, you kind of done already, or go out and get a keeper and kind of give yourself a better chance of competing, I would say. Honestly. Let's see if you were lurking today. You normally are lurking. Okay, Dirich. Review of my rare gallery, please. Just looking for some suggestions as to where to strengthen, in your opinion. Let's have a look. Oh, they scored again. Did they score again? Yeah, they did. No. He's got a bit of AA, but 2 shots on target. Højbjerg is smashing as well. That's so annoying. It should have been Højbjerg over Wale. Yeah, big time. I cucked that one, didn't I? Okay, rare stuff. Skorupski, Vasilj. So keepers, we're looking at what? 2 stars, technically. Kelleher might get a job next year. Maybe. Well, yeah. I'd say he probably... Well, actually, I don't know, because Alisson probably leaves as well, doesn't he? Yeah, decent array of defenders. More so Prem related, but that's fine. Grifo, Bob, Kakare. A couple of decent mid ones. Wilson's maybe back, and things look... Wow. Killier beating Rangers 2-0. Mental. Yeah, but like Højbjerg was always going to churn AA, wasn't he, really? So like best case, Egley probably gets like 75 really. But yeah, Højbjerg was, yeah. I mean, I did play Højbjerg. I captained him in 230, but didn't play him where it mattered. In fairness, it was actually Andy Moran over Wale, and Moran got an assist as well. So I've like double F myself there. Forwards, Berenguer and Ciso, Danny Welbeck. Yeah, I think your champ stuff's fine. I wouldn't really touch your champ stuff, to be honest. They weren't tipped to keep a clean sheet, really. They were favourites, though, weren't they? I don't know, that doesn't necessarily mean they're tipped to keep a cleaning, but I thought they were definitely like heavy favourites, right? PSV just scored. United scored as well. Delict. Okay, so the Kaiser, Kaminsky, Koopman's like three keepers. Yeah, I'd say maybe defenders need a little bit of a spruce up there for Chal. Midfielders are solidish, a lot of champ stuff. Forwards are strong. I'd definitely say defenders and maybe midfielders being really picky with the Chal stuff. As far as contender goes, Big Jan, Clark, Kelly. How many? 3 keepers again. Pemrice, Burnaby, Galesic. Yeah, a little bit of quality here. Don't mind it. Big Aaron, Obermeyer, Hatate, Andy Pola. Yeah, again, quite a bit of midfield depth as well. I don't mind it. Shankland, Adeniran, Maeda, Shayna Morris sport the party at Celtic Park, didn't he? Yeah, I'd say only Challenger maybe needs a little bit of a spruce up in definitely defence, but for sure maybe midfield as well, I would say. Okay, Tangled Berry. Tangled Berry. I have completely moved into rare MLS in season. I think I've built a good foundation to battle 2 good teams, and a third is okay. Currently running 2 for the threshold and 1 for the classic. So basically, just want to know who to pick up next, and if you have any other suggestions, that would be great. Similar to what I'm going to say with Tom, like don't like have in your mind you're definitely going to play 2 and 1 every week. Like play what the best 5 is, and then play what the second best 5 is. Don't get sucked into the thinking of, oh well, I have to play 2 lineups for the threshold. Just think, what is the best 5? Okay, what's the second best 5? Okay, what's the third best 5? And see what those lineups look like. That's got to be the way you've got to think about it personally. I don't think you can think about any other way, otherwise you're just killing yourself. But yeah, 3 good keepers. Engel, I like it. Engel, Alba, Amadoya. You got all the defenders you probably want from a quality basis. Hani, Pasalic, Tangseth, Kramashi. Yeah, you're low on mids. You definitely need a couple better mids there. Ojeda, Latte. Yeah, your forwards are really good. is mids. You're definitely lacking midfielder depth here. I mean, the obvious one is Evander. But, like, the good thing is you can play... Like, you've got scope to bring in a classic card here, really. Like a classic Evander or something, because you have 2 in-season keepers. So you could play, you could play 2, 4, 1 lineups, not... and then 1, 5 if you really wanted to, like 5 in season. But you definitely need a smasher mid in there, and I think Evander's probably the play with, with the amount of Cincy cards you have. So yeah, massive good luck to you, mate. Hope you're enjoying your vacation, your holidays. Okay, Mexa. Simplex. Just a regular review. I think about getting rid of my challenger cards, but then I have 2 or 3 keepers less for special comps or midweeks. I really don't know how to strengthen my gallery. You don't know how to strengthen? Morris Shinton. Rui Silva. I mean, Shinton's not up to much, is he, as a player, really? If you're worried about using them in, like, special comps, like, there's going to be cheaper options in Contender, I would say, as keepers go, to play in, for specials, if that's your worry. But yeah, as far as your depth goes here, like, I'd definitely be chopping off Challenger. It doesn't seem like you've got much going on at all, really, compared to what we got going on here in Champ. Yeah, there's way more going on here. I would definitely sack off Chal. 1,000,000%. You've got good quality here in Champ. But yeah, as far as like how to improve, I mean, it's buying cards with a good run of fixtures till the end of the season for Champ specifically speaking here, and you think we can continue doing the business. Like, I'm not seeing any stars here, as far as like prices go. I'm not saying you just need to just plow loads of money in now, but you know what I mean. Like, that's how you improve. You get players that consistently do things better than the ones that don't consistently do things. Germ, what's happening, mate? What's happening, pal? Cheers, Harry, mate. Yeah, I thought my midfielder was lacking, but wasn't sure where to go. Yeah, I think Evander's got to be the one. He makes most sense, I would say. Yeah, hope that makes sense as well, Simplex. Yeah, any like player suggestions, let me know. Like in Discord and stuff, and I'll give you my 2 cents on them. But yeah, appreciate you, mate. Toby. I've been slimming down my gallery quite a lot to get into MLS in season. Where would you go with MLS after I add Lucho, Jordi, and a 3rd keeper? Let's have a look. No, what happened there? Limited in season. Here we go. Let's have a look. Coronel Cabral. Willis, Tarbell, Coronel. Okay, so you're going to have 3 in-season keepers after you get in the 3rd keeper. For defenders, it's looking like Herrera, Hack, Glad, Zanka, Vera, Escobar, Brody, Juan Jones. Okay. You got the Jordian, love it. You said you're going to add a Lucho, don't mind there. Chambeau, Ruiz, Pep Biel, Pereira, Goncalves, De La Torre. Yeah, your mids are on it, I'd say. I don't think you need to do much, outside of adding maybe a Lucho in there. Benteke, Aranjo, Dreyer, Bamba, Nelson, Zink, Klaus. As far as in seasons go, you got 4 usable ones there, really. Probably enough, isn't it? Outside, for 3 lineups quite comfortably. Defenders, I'm looking at Hack, Herrera, Glad. Gets a bit dicey after that, doesn't it? For in seasons anyway. I think improving the defender quality. Like, can you get an Engels in? Can you get Wagner's maybe a bit too expensive, but an Amador. So someone in that realm that can peak. Herrera's kind of there, but he's just a bit yeah, just not it really. Maybe though, maybe. But yeah, I think a little bit more strength in defense is the only thing. But that's basically the same thing that we say for everyone in MLS, isn't it? Like that's just like the standard protocol. Okay, Dennis. Need some direction on what to improve on in the coming period. Bought some cheap rare cards to play Challenger in season as prices are quite low. Also got 3 classic MLS teams and Challenger cards. Okay. So I'm just checking. Is there scores on the doors? Oh wow, Norgisland did concede. How funny are Rangers? Mental. Is it still 2-0? I'm just seeing there. FCN lost the cleanie, didn't they? United 2-all. Wow. Patrick Dorgu red card. Oh my god. Not good, Bob. Not good. Yeah, 95th minute clean sheet loss. That's insane, isn't it? That is insane. Okay, Dennis. Needs a bit of direction. You said you bought a bit of MLS, didn't you? I see DaCosta there. He's in the season, so I guess there's no classic version of him, potentially. Okay, so you brought a few Seattle boys in. Okay. Jack McGlynn, like it. Atua, Takioka, Big Fafa, Coronel. Okay. Yeah, it's a nice little classic call going on there for the MLS. Obviously, DaCosta's in season for a bit. You bought some cheap rare cards. Let's have a look what they look like. Okay, so you bought the Kazmaika, Bruns, Halalovic, Bobby Shoofs. Okay. I mean, yeah, there's a team there probably on a given game week, isn't it? That gives you a bit of a sweat. Like, it's nothing crazy, but I can see that. Scratching the rare itch, maybe, for sure. And then there's the keeper, the Warwick keeper. Good fixture this weekend, but you can't play him against Halalovic. Well, you could, but would be a bit of a clash of teams there. And what else have we got? I think we've got a ton of Challenger limited stuff, don't we? Angus Gunn. If you can hear the baby, I'm sorry. He's going mad now. Sobo goal. Oh, nice. I needed that. I really needed that, actually. Yeah, Man United are even funnier, aren't they? Oh, yeah, I really needed that. That helps, but yeah, playing fucking Egali, whatever his name is, he's going to kill me there, isn't he? I mean, I need Brennan to still do something, which is not looking likely. Clear red for Dorgu. He followed through. Not ideal. Sobo's on fire, by the way, though. Go on the Sob. I do have him in here as well in rare, so I need that to get promoted, ideally. That needs to get promoted. Big time. Go on the Sob. 4 points away from a tier 5. It's not going to be enough, is it? Unless Sobo just goes mental, which I guess he could. Helps me too. Love it. Sorry, back to business. Paxton Vlap. I think it just seems like you're a bit reliant on Utrecht, however you say it. I can't even say that. Vlap. Baby Coop. Jordy Classy. Just probably need a bit more variety, with the Chow stuff. If you were to improve like your Vanakans and some of the more mainstays, now that everything's kind of come down in price because it's the end of the season, if there's a time to buy those cards, it's probably now. So yeah. What do you think of my under 23 chances? Let's have a look. Let's have a butchers. Contenders flying. Guardiola captain. I mean, I don't know what they're looking like as far as their teams, but 144 points away. You need Guardiola to just go ballistic, really, don't you? Like, you need him to do like a 90, which is, putting that Jadon Nelson in a good position. Will Nelson even start after playing the weekend? Who knows? That might not be needed, though. He might be able to come off the bench and do the business. But they do need to win that game because they did lose away, didn't they? I'm sure. Sobo's still playing, though. Yeah, I mean, it's not a million miles off, is it? But yeah, I just don't know what their teams actually are looking like. Like, are they 144 away? And and Dennis says, where do I go next? Build up MLS in season. Buy more rare challenger. Improve challenger limited or MLS classic. I wouldn't improve MLS classic. It looks pretty fine. We'll save it for next season. I think if you're gonna pick one of those first three questions, Dennis, I think I would say build up for MLS in season personally. And then secondary, I'd probably say save it for next season. Third, I would say buy more rare. And then fourth, improve challenger limited. Okay, Nilo. Bought three lineups: J League, Osako, Frontale, and Nagoya for contender for the summer, and still have my challenger teams as well. With challenger, I want to yield until the end of the season and use them as classic cards for next season. Since I'm new to contender, I would like to know what my next steps are in contender for the summer. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. I think my answer is going to be something along the lines of buy Cecinha, unless you have him already. So the issue is, like, these J League cards we saw this morning, nobody scores well in the J League, really, and I just think you're gonna definitely need some firepower when it comes to like contender smashers when it for this period. Cecinha works the best because like his league coincides with the J League quite well, whereas like for example, like the Russian league, it's done in like 2 or 3 months, which is fine for 2 or 3 months, but after that it's done. So it kind of depends how soon you want to win. Obviously everyone wants to win now, but you know what I'm saying, like buying a Barco, you've got him for like 2 or 3 months, so just keep that in mind. Same for like Austria will be done pretty soon as well. Maybe I think Hammers is done pretty soon, I could be wrong, but like the Mexican league doesn't go on for ages, I don't think. But yeah, I think Cecinha is the obvious one that I can think of off the top of my head. Like a classic Cecinha would really work to go with the J League lads. A bit of China as well. I guess you can't do Romelu because he's not got a limited, but that type of profile could potentially work. No worries at all, Dennis. No worries at all, mate. Yeah, that's the one that's coming to my mind right now. Valentin Gomez. He's definitely the obvious one. And if I can't think of any other ones, it might be just buy 2 or 3 of him if you can, and just roll all 3 out. Usami's a decent forward. Usami, if he's fit, can bang in the J League. I'm not opposed to that. There's no Felipe limited, which kind of kill it. Yeah, I'd say I wouldn't go any further than Cecinha for now, genuinely. And if there's no one else, then I'd maybe go Cecinha times 2, honestly. Okay, Sorare Tom. Not really sure what direction to take right now. I've got a good limited in season contender setup. A couple of average at best classic MLS teams and about 35 in my wallet. I can't decide whether to sell my classic MLS cards and go into season MLS or look to make a strong summer and season contender team. Would you love to hear your thoughts? What to do in this situation? Let me see what you've got for MLS already as a base and then take it from there. No worries at all, Niels. I appreciate you being in here, mate. What was it? MLS, wasn't it? What have we got going on here then? Daniel Aranjo. Bit of Nashville. So the issue is, what is this really worth? 3. Like, if you watch my Road to Glory, like 70, 50, 60 quid is like the minimum you're probably going to spend on an in-season MLS team right now for limited, kind of. So selling all of these, 2, 5, 10, 20 quid. You're probably getting about 20 quid max maybe for all these. So you'd obviously have to, you said you got a bit in your wallet, which kind of adds up to what I'm saying there, but you'd only have like one MLS team at that point. I don't know if that's worth it over having what you've got here in Classic and just seeing if you can churn a few limited in-season cards, from crafting and maybe even winning a few rewards. But I'd probably add to this and just make, buy a few better forwards, like a Benteke or, somebody that's, Rangho's decent, but and maybe some midfielders as well. Don't just stick to the RSL Nashville thing. Buy players at random as well, that would be my advice if you were to improve this. But you said you've already got a contender in seasons set up as well. But how strong does, or you said you could do that, how strong does that even look? 'Cause you've got all the Croatian. I mean, as far as overlap goes, it would make sense to do a contender like a J League situation or a K League or whatever, because you have cards that can play now as well to mix in with that. So I'm kind of not opposed to that, honestly, outside of improving the MLS stuff. I'd maybe just sell the MLS stuff and go harder into contender, because that's where you already are. Sorry, I think that would be what I would do. K-Flow. Been slowly moving into rare season across a few comps. Where would you look to target next? I prefer champ leagues or challenger, but I've got an Asian team for summer comps. Would you consider a single league like La Liga, Bundesliga? Just worry about the Madrid Bayern smashes every couple of weeks. I mean, you've got that in basically every league. Worse in challenger and that. But yeah, as far as the single leagues, I'd say, I don't know. I don't like playing them personally, K-Flow. So I'm not. Liam, what's happening, mate? Yeah, I'm not probably the best person to ask about that, honestly, because I don't like playing the single league comps outside of the MLS. So, yeah, either or, just pick your poison, right? There's smashes in either side. I don't think one's better than the other, honestly. There's probably more budgety players in the Bundesliga. Well, I don't know, because there's a few decent players now with Isco and stuff outside of Madrid and Barca that you can kind of get in on. By the way, Soboslai is flying. Double as well. Go on, the boy. If Brennan can get a DA here, that would really help. I will say that much. Brennan DA would really help. Yeah. I think. But are we talking consider it now, or are we considering it later, next year? That would be my next question. Kubis. I'm playing Prem under 23 Bundesliga, sometimes Champ. I'm pretty deep in Prem. It's my favorite comp, but lately I've been really enjoying the Bundes. Last few days I've been thinking about selling my under 23s because I want to step into rare anyway, probably next season. The question is, should I sell my under 23s and buy more Bundesliga, even there's not too many games left, or should I save the money? I think I would save it. Without looking at your Bundes, which I'll do now. I'd probably save it, honestly, mate. Yeah, you've got a couple of good. Yeah, I don't think you need to add to this. You've already got some of the big lads that that you're kind of required in. Yeah, you're not. No, don't buy any more Bundes cards. You've got them. You've got all the Bundes cards you could even dream of, I would say. Honestly. Save it up. Sell the under 23, save them up for sure. 100%. 100%. Okay, Lucas 8. Currently got £300 balance, not really sure where to go next. Got my rare MLS lineup in season. Would you look to add to this, or do you think I'd struggle with ROI spending any more? Would you get to look at an MLS team, a limited team? I definitely wouldn't get a limited team if you've already got. Why play down if you've already got an in-season rare rig going on? You love selling your cards, by the way. He's always got his cards listed, old Lucas Aid. He loves it. What we got then? Gil Ivasic, Waterman, Angulo. Like, it's fine. I think it needs, like, I think you're kind of, without spending a bit more, I think you may be doing it a disservice in itself, honestly. Like, I think it needs a bit more firepower. I think it needs a couple more decent cards in here, honestly, that could really elevate it. Like a Forsberg or an in-season one. You've got the Gill, which is nice but classic. I'd say it needs a bit more firepower, I would say. Maybe even a forward. Like, your forwards are a little bit half-baked. Harper, Azuni, Langoni, I would say. Like, Langoni works nice with heel, obviously, but Tyberibo's okay. Just think you need a little bit more up front. Ooh, Tobe said a Flecken clean sheet gets him his first ever award, mate. Wish you all the best for that, Tobe. That'll be insane. I'd either keep it or I wouldn't buy a limited team. I'd either keep the money or you, like, yeah, sort of push the boat out on a better, like, mid/forward, I would say. Okay, Nicola. Just invested €150 in K&J League team to play in the special, in which I target to get back the investment. Good luck. And have players to play during the summer. I'm slowly selling the challenger and contender players where I have good profit margin. Having for the summer K&J League. Shall I invest in Argentina as well? Or K&J can be competitive for the summer. On my current challenger cards competitive, I feel they are, but somehow I managed to fight. I never managed to fight for a decent placement. Thank you. No worries at all, mate. In general, I would say there is some good scoring cards in the K&J League. I wouldn't like downplay that, but yeah, I'd say more so in the K League these days. It feels like, again, I'm gonna say it, like, you're probably gonna need a Cecina. You've got a classic. Maybe get yourself an in-season one if you don't already, which it doesn't seem like. I definitely think, yeah, adding a few like firepower bits into that would really elevate it. You've already got Lopez. You've got a couple of good J League cards. Excuse me. As far as your challenger stuff goes, like, J and K League can compete, but it's normally like K League defensive stack, Cecina up front as the captain, and then like a random midfielder from the J League or something. That's normally how that normally plays out. Excuse me, I'm so gassy right now. I don't know why. Okay, yeah. I mean, you do have really good goalie depth. You've got all the defenders you'd kind of want in challenger, like of the big guns. Midfielders again, yeah, man. Like, you can't really ask for better depth and better quality. You've got them all. Like, now there's no MLS in challenger. Like, I'm not saying it's easier, but well, it is easier, I guess. But you know what I mean. Like, there's only so many cards you need to worry about these days, whereas before with the MLS and stuff, it was a lot more. You do have the cards, yeah, you're right. You really do. You have the cards to be competitive here, no doubt. It's just about, easier said than done, getting the 5 in the right place, as always. But yeah, get yourself maybe an in-season Cecina. I think that really will help you over the summer, more so. Like, the classic will help, obviously, but yeah, definitely help a bit more having the flexibility of the in-season one. Okay, Gully FC. I need your thoughts on help to trim down my gallery. Too much attachment issues to cards, and need some fresh eyes and opinions on how to consolidate and to be able to focus on Bundes, Prem and Champ Rare, Classic and Season. Maybe just need to ship out some older collections, yeah, like AC Milan. And then with how I invested this season, aim every week is to finish top 20. It's a tough ask, but with the galleries set up for it. I'll watch a breakdown of how you selected your Champ Classic D1 team, so we'll use some of those pointers. But if there's anything else, e.g. mainstay captain choices or half-stack suggestions to consider regularly based on my gallery, that would be lovely. Based on my gallery, which Champ keeper would you suggest bringing in? Bonus, if you have time, would you like to take a risk? Would you take a risk on SR Valles for a goalkeeper for next year to start my Super Red journey? If you can get him cheap enough, yeah. Like, I think Valles will get a job somewhere, surely to God. Like, he had a wicked season with Las Palmas, didn't he? outside of the contract stuff. I mean, yeah, if you can get him cheap enough, maybe. But I don't know what cheap enough like actually looks like as a number. But if you get him at a price where you think he's like, yeah, cheap enough, yeah, I think he's worth. He might be worth a punt for sure to work your way into champion season. Like I don't even have a champion season keeper to be fair, like champ super keeper. But yeah, I don't mind that little bonus question. As far as the first question goes, with consolidating and stuff, like we've mentioned it already. If on this sort of stream, but it's just players that you're not going to use with like collections that like you're not really caring about anymore, in the nicest way possible. Like, more so than not, you're going to be using the more expensive cards in your gallery, because that's just how the game kind of works. They're normally the better scoring cards. But if there's cards that are like in mid-range, they're just not even seeing the light of day for you. I don't know. For example, like I like Stiller, but like maybe Stiller or Tijani Reinders, like those type of cards that still have good value, like combined with selling 10 or 20 of them to kind of consolidate. Those are the ones that'll add up, and as long as you don't miss them, as far as like in your lineup builder, like you're gonna miss them to a degree anyway, because having the option is always nice. But I still think, there's going to be a decent amount of cards here that probably end up being easily shipped out, because you can't play them all. Like, and if you are, you're playing them in Classic, which is fine. But I'm a victim of this myself. But like I've been playing a lot of my in-season cards in Classic because I just have leftovers. But it's not really. I mean, it is optimal from like an XP standpoint, but you're wasting their in-season. That's in a way. But at the same time, they can obviously win you other stuff. So yeah, it's like, cards like João Felix. Like, are you really using these cards on a week-to-week basis? I'm not convinced you are. Dennis Undav, 30 quid. Like, there's so many of these cards are 30 quidders that add up. I think it's worth just shipping them, shipping 10, 20 of them off and having a little bit of a cash balance. And then as far as the top 20 goes and stuff, I mean that when you're saying like the breakdown of how I select my champ team, like I'm not gonna say I selected that team before my in season, because I didn't. I selected in season first. Those come, the classic team came secondary to that. But yeah, I never have a mainstay captain choice. It's always on the matchup. Laird bangs on about, if you watch Sorare data, like it's always on how good the matchup is. So for example, this upcoming weekend, let me just I'll build you an in-season one. Obviously, we'll do it on Thursday anyway. But like, my captain choice always depends on how good the matchup is for that given player. Let's just say your goalies aren't in amazing spots this weekend, really. But I would stick my neck out and say, I mean, Milan have been shocking, haven't they? I'd maybe say Dortmund somehow snatch a little, like there's upside in that fixture there. Let's just argue, maybe not even argue, but let's just say Hakimi does play. And then it's, a mixture of what Simons hasn't. I'm not having Simons right now. Bit worried about that. I mean, it's hard to ignore, Vert really against Frankfurt. I'm sure there'd be goals in that one. And then, it's definitely Cherky for me. And then, like, you're going to have 4 players here that you could captain is your issue. And it's, like, obviously a blessing because you have such a good gallery, right? But let me just throw in, who would be my 4th player here? I'm just going to give you an example, of what goes through my head anyway when it comes to captaincy, dilemmas. I maybe even go Schlotter here. So then I go, who has the most upside? Who is most 100 capable? For me, it's probably Cherky or Hakimi. And then I go, okay, Lille could score against PSG quite comfortably. Now, that doesn't deter from Hakimi getting his 100 because we know he's, immune to that. But I look at that and go, Cherky at home to Stade Brestois is just a certainty for captaincy. We know his AA floor is like 20, most of the time. Like, it's a bit less in some of these, but like, we know Cherky can go from 10 to 30 AA quite comfortably. And then it's, can he continue his DA run Probably, because he's probably going to take set pieces. They're at home. They're probably going to score 2 or 3 goals, and you just got to hope he's involved in 2 or 3 of those, 1 or 2, 1, 2 or 3 of those. Plus, he gets his his all around score. Like for me, Cherky's a guaranteed captain because of the home fixture, because of the probabilities. I could see why people would go Hakimi. I'm not like it's not a million miles away from the Cherky one, but for me, Cherky's like a dead cert captaincy there, just as like an example. So yeah, hope that all makes sense, mate. But I am going to pop to the toilet because I am busting for a wee. So let me love you and leave you for 2 seconds. Sorry, lads. I'm back. Oh, we just got a new member? No way. Is that another new member? Oh no, it was Sam again. For some reason that came through twice. Equally as appreciated, Sam, but... okay, JJ Lane is up next. I'm still consistently playing La Liga, but I do think I have it at a place now where I can't really get any better, except maybe in-season Mbappe, fair enough. If you see any gaps, I would be happy to know. My original plan for MLS was to go into in-season rare, but the prices of some of the players made me want to go into limited. Fine. I may have went a bit crazy with the 1 of 1,000 Atlanta limited, but I do think they will do well this year. Is there any gaps players you think I should get for limited? Also for the rare, I have one in season lineup with a classic keeper, but I feel like that is wasting my classic Messi rare for the rare keeper. Do you think it's better to go and get a keeper on a worse team? Yeah, I do. I definitely think you should get a keeper on a worse team so you can play Messi. 100%. Yeah, I think you've completed La Liga, haven't you? I think you've won over the odds on what, you know, you've sort of paid on the cards and stuff, from what I remember. So GG's for that. But you basically got all you'd really asked for, I think. And then from a MLS standpoint, yeah, like you said, it's some Mbappe or nothing, isn't it? Really. And then from so you said you had you got a Santos. Let me just do limited first. I know you had the Atlanta boys, but Calendar Guzan, okay. It's good because like Atlanta do have like a 5 that you could probably stack on a week-to-week basis with like the amount of like forwards and mids now they have as options. But you've got an Alba, which is nice, a little bit of a differential, which I don't mind. If you weren't, if you were to to mix up the MLS stack, Hani Mukhtar, Maranchuk Chambo, Segovia, Saba, Klitsch. Yeah, you're in the realm, aren't you? You haven't got too much outside of that I'd really be saying you're missing. Latte Lath, Messi, Rossi, Ojeda. Yeah, you're blessed with forwards, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's much to really add to that. I think you've just got to let it marinate, man. Let it work for you for a bit. But definitely get a rare in season keeper, to play with that Messi. Otherwise, you're wasting it. I think, big time. Okay, Sorare J. Have €100 balance for upgrades. Need some advice on whether I should let my rare side of my gallery go or just keep chipping away at it over time. Could hold out for next season and expand into Challenger or even Champ. Think I have enough contender cards for Classic in season at the moment. All advice, criticism is welcome. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. She said your rare stuff is a bit... Let's have a look at what your rare stuff is saying. Excuse me. So you have the Rangers stuff, Alistair. You have the Houston boys in there as well. Laidlaw, Reynoso. Yeah, I do think your rare stuff is a bit half-baked. Like, I know everyone wants to move up and stuff, and I get it. Like, I'm the same with Super or whatever, but I think it's half-baked, and I just think you're doing yourself a disservice personally. You could strengthen where you're already stronger in limited, even more so. Give yourself the ability to go stronger, as strong as possible. In the places you're already semi-competing. Like, don't stretch yourself if you can't do it. To the degree where it makes sense. Only move up scarcities when it makes sense. Here, like, you've got some good cards. I'm not going to dispute that, but I just don't think it's enough to really compete. With the massive Celtic stacks, and there's just a lot going on in contender. And you do have to be prepared for that. I think I'd be holding out for next season, to be fair, and expanding into places where you're already strong enough from a classics perspective, and then keeping the cash maybe for in season flutters next season. But you've got a lot of like doing what you're doing in limited in rare is very hard to do, and that's what you would need to do to be able to compete, right? So, and I know you know that, but just sort of pointing that out, that like that, I think I would save what you've got, yield from what you can, and maybe ship off the rares personally. And maybe have a go at it next year instead. Like, prices might be a bit different. The landscape might be a bit different in Challenger, let's say. Well, it is because no MLS. Like, things like that definitely change things. Olav is up next though. My Challenger players, are they good enough, or should I sell some? And can you recommend replacements? Let's have a look. So I see you have a Forest stack going on as your most expensive stuff. And then you've got Jaco, Kuzmans, Olage, Raman, Sadiq, KM Bay, Kazmaika. Yeah, you're not too far off. There's definitely a bit of quality there. I wouldn't say it's a million miles off. Two decent keepers. Defenders are very solid. Mids are solid enough. Like there's two decent ones. Forwards are fine. Is Raman scoring? Let's have a look. I guess he is. Yeah, he's doing pretty well. Yeah, I mean, I think you're like one forward away and maybe one other midfielder away of having like a decent two teams or so. I like Brian Heynen. I think he would fit nicely with the gang stuff. Heynen's a good mid. As far as forwards go, I'm a big Bilal Brahimi fan. In the Belgium league, I think he could fit pretty nicely into there. To be honest, yeah. Okay, Mben 10. Mben 10. Sorry, just moving my laptop. I have a pretty decent gallery in terms of Premier League quality, but still win nothing every week. Again, I'm very bad with injuries, no doubt, but I'm not enjoying debating just going into one or two teams of rare where I'll win similar, but if I do win, it'll be a lot more fun that way. Thoughts? Definitely not against it. I think it would require maybe a bit of an injection as well, potentially. Maybe not. Like, your gallery value is pretty high there. If you could get, I don't know, if you were to sell the whole gallery, let's just call it 600 quid. I don't know, but 650, whatever. I'm thinking maybe picking up a few players with one classic smasher, still targeting Prem and Champ, then getting in season ready for next season. Yeah, I'm not against it. I think if you need a Mertens might lose his place though, Cam. I'm a bit worried about that, to be honest. The fact that he was dropped in the derby doesn't bode well. Yeah, I'm not against the change, and Ben, I know you've ran quite bad recently, haven't you, with injuries and stuff, with Saka and whatever. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't say no to what you want to do. If you're not enjoying it, spruce it up, like 1,000,000%. Like I'm not against that at all. And I like the whole classic smasher with the 4 in season for the remainder of the season. See what you can get out of that, and then maybe bank the rest for next season. Like I said, you could probably sell. I don't know, but I'm just guessing you could sell this gallery for 60-65%. I don't know what gallery buyers buy for, but let's just call it 600 quid or whatever. Buy 2 or 3 teams, like you said. Bank 300-400 quid or whatever it looks like, and then see where that takes you. That's kind of where I'm thinking. I don't know how realistic that is, but that's what I have roughly in my head for sure. But yeah, any help with? I mean, I can't really help. Well, maybe DD might be able to give you a little offer maybe on your stuff. I don't know. I'm just guessing. It's about time he didn't start playing too many games. Yeah, fair. They probably look worse. Or they were looking to fade him out. Yeah. Did Brennan get subbed out? He didn't. Wow. Brennan somehow didn't get subbed out. I really need a Brennan DA, to be honest. His AA is not looking good at all. Liverpool 1-0 half time. 3 points off a tier 5, but that probably won't hold. Okay, Alec. My MLS card review on what my chances are. Sorry, let's have a look. Again, getting the cards is one thing. Second thing is using them correctly. Sirwa, Stuva, Coronel, Pice. Okay, so 1 in season keeper. Zimmerman, Campbell, Bravo, Ella. Yeah, I like the defenders. Really nice little array of defenders there. Caden Clark, Pasalic, Ayala, Duke, Saliba, Brooklyn Reigns. Okay, first 2 or 3 are really good. Bryce Duke I do like, as long as he's like playing, he could be really good. Saliba and Reigns are like 2 good youngsters, which Saliba scored actually last week, but somebody I would like necessarily rely on. Up front, Pons, Anthony, Bakari's decent. This Georgie lad scored really well. Well, scored well for Seattle on the weekend, but I don't know how nailed he is, but it looks like you crafted him. Alande, I don't know how nailed he is either, actually, with Miami. Rutty plays, but again, he's not a forward. I mean, he's a forward card, sorry, but he doesn't play up front. He's a wing back. I think your forwards need a bit of consolidating, I would say. Printer Usu's decent, but Montreal have got like a ton of away games. It's just a bit tough for him. Ponce, I'm not really having him. Bakari's your best forward, I would say, really. Ponce might be okay this weekend. Like, he could score a goal against Inter Miami. I'm not disputing that, but I'd say, yeah, you're like a forward away. I think your mids are fine. For 2 or 3 lineups, your mids are okay. I think you're like a decent forward away, which aren't easy to get in the MLS, really. But, like, I think that's where you're lacking. If there was a position that I would recommend, like a Benteke. I know they're not cheap, but like a Benteke or somebody that you can just rely on. That sometimes having cards that you can just rely on most game weeks is really nice. It really takes away a lot of the pain that you can suffer by playing lower tier cards. But like, yeah, Benteke, 2 shirts decent, but I still prefer Benteke. I think Yeboah's good. I really like the look of Yeboah. Yeah, I really like Yeboah actually. He could maybe fill that gap. Jordan Morris is decent, but I'm definitely seeing Yeboah there as the standout, 100%. Dosy. Finally, we get to you. What we got left? Dosy, Cam, Egan, 3, Jack. Yeah, like 7 or 8 left. I keep finding myself buying players that I see as a good price for other comps and then end up going into them and not really doing anything. Basically, I want to kind of focus on contenders. That's where I feel like I'm best and have most fun and success. Could do with some help finding some stronger players to fully beef up my lineups, but I don't really like stacking. That's fine. I don't really like stacking either. Yeah, as far as like buying random cards and that, like if you're buying them from different, like the way I used to do that is like if I was just an under 23 player, I would like buy an older player that I thought was good value or something, or was going to get the starting spot or whatever. It's on set pieces that like look value to me in, let's say, champ or contender or wherever. And I flip him because I know I can't play him because he's not under 23. So like at that point, similar to you with contender, like if you're flipping challenger and champ cards as like a little bit of a side hustle, like you're forced to, like you can't keep them because they're useful. They're useless to you, sorry, from like a, an SO5 standpoint. But yeah, as far as your contender stuff goes, you got a bit of Austria, don't you, which is going to end soon. So it's all about like transitioning. If you want to play, you might not want to play summer. If you don't want to play summer, then that's a different story, I guess. And I guess you haven't really said you do want to play summer, to be fair. But yeah, but for now to the end of the season, buffing up your lineups of for me, it's looking at players like your Hind, you've already got him, but players like him, Van Izek. Getting in players like this, home next week, home, like those are the type. I mean, there's still a decent chunk of the season left, even in Euro. But like those type of players, you do have to just bite the bullet on on certain players like that because they are just reliable more so than other ones, and it does pay. It pays to have cards like that sometimes in your gallery. But again, I've mentioned him loads. But Cecinha as a forward is, sorry, I don't spell that right. But yeah, Cecinha. Players like him, like. I know he's not cheap, but for a classic, he's pretty cheap. That could really work from a classic perspective. Sorry, I'm just checking Discord. Yeah, you think I should sell classic MLS and just use it on contender? Let me have a look. Like if you're not going all in, then it's just like you're just killing yourself, really. But yeah, I'd probably ship it. To be honest. Gives you a little 30-40 quid war chest, maybe. I'm not opposed to that at all. Not opposed to that. Domp is good, yeah. Was it Gianluca Domp or something? Yeah, I know who you're on about. I don't know. It's Jan something, isn't it? Wow, Nico Williams is scoring pretty well against Arsenal. Quite shocked. Second highest best scorer for oh wow, Saliba's on 100. Jesus. Brennan is still killing me. No worries at all, Dobbsy, mate. No worries at all, pal. Okay, Cameron. Not necessarily gallery review, but do do we think I should still go into MLS with it being a separate from Challenger now? With the makeup of my gallery being entirely Challenger, no MLS pieces. And once again, I'll ask the question, do I sell up and buy Arsenal in the season? It's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Do that in like 2 months when they'll be even cheaper. Don't do it now. Pointless. But yeah, as far as like the MLS stuff go, like, yeah, don't feel forced to play MLS, Cam, sorry. Don't do it just because I play MLS and like people are playing MLS. Like, don't feel like you need. In some ways, it's probably better because there's less noise now about Challenger. You've got more of a chance now of competing till the end of the season, I would say. I'd use that to your advantage. The people are diving into the MLS. You use that to your advantage. Like, I know you know your stuff in Challenger. You're gonna get a lineup right by the end of the season. Just trust me on that. You will. It will happen. You just gotta be patient, and it will happen at some point. When I say right, I'm not saying like it's gonna be first, but you're gonna get something very right soon, and it's gonna feel pretty nice. But yeah, I wouldn't play MLS just for the sake of it, mate, at all. Okay, dear Egan, happy with my gallery at the moment with the amount of lineups I can put out that have a high chance of returning each week from different comps. Wouldn't mind you having a look through my Challenger and seeing if there's any glaring holes. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. Was debating whether or not to play rare MLS this season, but sold off those cards for a small profit. Might dip back in. Sounds good, mate. The main one I'm contemplating is diving into the classic rare cards, especially under 23. Used to focus on under 23 before swaying more towards in season, but not even from a RI perspective. I feel like I had more enjoyment playing under 23 backers to oppose it in season. Yeah, I get that because it feels like there's more pressure when you've got in season because they're ticking time bombs. So yeah, I completely get that, mate. If I was to dive into under 23 rare, should I wait until the summer to pick up some players as prices will be down? Yeah, or pick up under 23 that have utility over the summer and have a few big pieces. Like, from my experience, like, playing over the summer isn't even that fruitful if we're talking like prize pools and stuff. So I wouldn't make you feel like you've got FOMO or anything from not playing under 23 over the summer. Even though like less people play, but like the prizes are like way worse. Like, you can't win the Euro, guys, So yeah, I would wait. I would pick up some like Euro under 23 lads if that's what you want to go back and do. Like, when their league is literally like the last game of the season / done. That's the best time to do that, I think. Let's have a look at what you got going on in Chal first. So Delange, Pastia, David Ruth, that's a bit of a killer, isn't it? Verdonk, Sykes, Utkus, Pascagli, wow, nice. Well, that's mad. His 1 week average was 60 and now he's floor 120. I mean, you've got pieces. You've got some really nice pieces here. Big Harris, love it. Hainan. Our best players can't even. Is that dribble or drink? Sure, it'd be dribble, but I don't know. I think you've got. I honestly think you've got enough. I don't see where things change here really to the point where like it takes your gallery to another level. Like, all the challenger cards right now are like, it feels like they're all the same. Like, there's nobody that's like outside of Pascagli. Like, I know it's kind of always been that way, but there's no one that I'm like, oh wow, you should get this guy. Like, he's so good. Like, it just doesn't. 1 year he's 17. Yeah, I know, he's unreal. Yeah, I think you're fine in Chal. But like, I get what you're saying though. It is more fun playing under 23 because like there's less worry or less like pressure maybe. Jack says mostly play the game for fun, but buy players when I want them. And now I've got too big of a gallery. I'm wondering if I should start trading some players out or if I should only buy specific comps or rarities. I'm mostly playing classic and have 2 in-season contender teams. Don't really touch under 23 because most of my players are in champ limiteds. Should I scrap one of the champ teams for under 23? No, for sure not. I wouldn't. Should I just stick to in-season? I think like I'm always of the opinion like if you can play in-season, player. Like, that is where I'm not saying you're going to make money, but like that's where you're going to have a better chance of an ROI over classic. Like, classic's tough. Classic is an absolute cesspit of just so many cards, so many lineups. You've got to be perfect to really win something of value, where Not saying you don't have to be perfect in season, but you do have to be less. You can afford to be less perfect. There's just less people playing. So yeah, I wouldn't change out your champ stuff for in season, honestly. And as far as like, yeah, you're thinking you've got too many cards, like I've said already, like if there's cards in your gallery that don't see the light of day, ship them off if you can. Whether that's to a bot, I know it's tedious, but I think that's ultimately, what needs to be done sometimes. A clean out, and kind of, restart basically, because otherwise it just, cards clutter up and it becomes, yeah, like you've got like a hoarder problem in a house, like it's just virtually. But yeah, I wouldn't sell your, I wouldn't swap your champ stuff for under 23. I think champs got a better potential ROI. I know you said you play for fun as well, but Moscow, what's happening, mate? I'm doing well, thank you, mate. Moso, actually, is it? Moso. Peter's up next. Hope I'm not too late. No, you're not. Would love for you to look at my champ squads. Rangers 2-all. Mainly rare, but even limited would be great. Any particular places I should look at? Even players? Probably going to buy Guiri from Marseille. Love it. Maybe even Rabiot. Don't know about their rares apart from the keeper. Would look at £20 to £30 per player max if possible. Let's have a look. We got Peter, Sam, GD, Cont, Momo. My laptop's going to die, I think, but I can get it up on my computer. It's fine. Let's have a look at your champ stuff. Let me just do rare for now. So you got Lopez, Cresswell, Murillo, Kondogbia. Yeah, I mean, you've got the bones of a team. If you're adding those two players like you said, then it looks a bit better. Talby is a good player, isn't he? So good. Yeah, I mean, as far as rares go, like, this just screams to me that, like, unless you're going to be able to put in, like, a decent amount to where, like, it really gets better, like, you are just up against it compared to, like, the quality that you have in limited and the the amount of different cards and possibilities you have with your lineups. Like, it's just a different ball game, And I know everyone wants to move up. Like, I get it. Everyone wants to move up, but only do it if you can, like, almost emulate what you can do at limited at rare, really, or like have the view to do that. Because otherwise, you're always gonna have like I mean, I know you can get progressively more and more cards over time from like a classic perspective, but for in season, you've got to act in the now. There's a ticking time bomb on these cards. But yeah, I wouldn't. I think I love Guiri. I have a Guiri myself. I don't have a Rabiot, but he has been scoring pretty well. So yeah, I can see how that would work for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing anything like obvious. Like, you have some really good in-season cards. A lot of the OM boys, Bischoff, Benacer, Reward. That's amazing. Caicedo, Bruno. Like, you're in that realm. I wouldn't, like, there's not enough of the league left to really be picking up like a ton of cards at this point. I don't think, outside of maybe Guiri and stuff, that does help with the OM stack. But you've got a ton of cards, Peter. Like, I think you've just got to run them into the ground and see where that sort of takes you, honestly. So yeah, any questions, obviously let me know on the old Discord. And next up we've got Sam, who is brand new to the Discord. Yo mate, having a gallery over 500 cards, most is worthless. Any tips to improve? Challenge contender in season, currently the top money makers, open to sell some good players, but only to get direct improvements. Oh yeah, you do have a lot of cards, don't you? Yeah, lots of in seasons. Luna, Hadel, Adam Wharton. Like, do you play in season champ? You might be a Palace fan, which is fine, but like, maybe you are a Palace fan because you have a Dean Henderson as well. I don't know, I'm just seeing like a few random cards here that, like him, obviously. Like, why do you need him? Like, what does he serve for your lineups? But yeah, I'm seeing mainly challenge contender. Some good cards here though. Janda, Nigren scored today. I do like the look of what I'm seeing there. But it probably feels like to me you probably have too many cards, which a lot of people do have. And And it's a case of, yes, taking the time to spring clean some of the bits that you don't end up really using from a week to week basis. Who doesn't get into your lineups every week basically? If they don't get in and they're worth a couple of quid or whatever, list them. See what you can get for them. So they might be able to go to a better home. And I know it's nice having a lot of cards because it gives you a lot of options from a week to week basis, obviously, but there's a point where you do just get too many cards in, and it just becomes annoying. Sam says, looking for a goalkeeper to play champ rare. Okay. I mean, you probably want to be shopping in either Liga 1 or Serie A, I would say. Let's have a look. So Will Dennis, Bassi Zabanier. I'd argue you probably need a defender as well, really. Chris Richards and Bassi are okay. I don't even think this I'm just being brutally honest, I don't think this outfield setup even warrants buying a champ keeper. Genuinely. I think in the nicest way possible, you'd be wasting your money. There's just being on it, as brutal as I can be. I don't think what I'm seeing there from your defenders, mids and forwards is enough to compete in champ, genuinely. I really, really don't. I wouldn't bother personally until you can improve the outfielders and then have a keeper as well to go with it. Let me know how that looks, and we can obviously discuss that as well in the Discord and whatever. But yeah, I massively appreciate you becoming a member, Sam, and welcome. You're gonna learn. I mean, you've already been playing for a while, but you're gonna learn a ton from being in the Discord. It's a very nice environment for all galleries, shapes and sizes. But yeah, it's wicked. Really nice little community that we've built. Okay, GD. Galleries in a shambles, to be honest. All my Premier season are not return due to injury and poor form. Thinking of taking a hit on the gallery and just sell everything and play maybe MLS Limited for a bit of fun for the new season. Just keep the cash for a fresh look. I can see that, mate. I just don't see my current Prem players returning in the last 10 weeks or so. Would just like your thoughts on selling the whole gallery, or is there any other advice where to go in my gallery? Sorry, no, you're fine, GD. You're all good, mate. Is this the right GD? Have I got this right? I think I have, haven't I? Or do I? GD98, yeah. I think. GD98. Yeah, I think I've got it right. We do have a new member, by the way, though, lads. Oh, Brendan with a bit of AA. Welcome. Moso? Yeah, I'm going to go Moso. Welcome, mate. Get yourself into the Discord if you haven't already. And yeah, if you want your gallery reviewed, pop it into the monthly gallery review section or channel. And I'll get to that, mate, before we end here. But yeah, GD. So you've got a Bellingham there. Interesting. The old Jude. I mean, it seems like you're definitely on the out, aren't you? For sure, with what I'm seeing here with what you're selling. Or did you trade? Oh, wow, you got that Jude in. Well, that was 2 months ago. Is this the right GD? I'll take the assist, love that. I'm dead, so kind of hard to pronounce. That's okay. I'll get there. I'll get there, mate. I appreciate you, though. Is this the right GD? Who do you support as a duchy? Yeah, it probably is you, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Prem stuff. Yeah, this probably is you. Okay, yeah, Hakimi. I remember now. Sorry. Yeah, I remember this now. Saka. Yeah, I mean, it seems like you're on the way out already in that sense. So if that's the case, I'm not going to convince you not to. Fine, I'd love it. Gutted about Quinton Timber. Very sad. Yeah, it seems like you're on the way out, like I said. And if you need a bit of time to decompress and play some MLS Limited, like, do it. You know, if you need that, I would never tell you not to. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not going to convince you otherwise, mate. I think that's probably your best route. You've got some wicked cards there. A lot of them will definitely sell, especially with some of the good matchups this weekend. So, wow, Rangers 3-2, by the way. So yeah, good luck with that. I might have a look at your gallery later and see if there's anything in there that I might have a look at. Connor says, had my in-season Gavin Bazunu come good, love it. Should I invest in making a challenge in-season team stronger or my under-23? I think Bazunu is probably better played in under-23, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's going to, like with Liège, they just don't seem to be doing that well right now. But there's Big Baz. I would probably, let's have a look what you've got going on. Is he your only in-season keeper technically? Yeah. Okay, that's nice. That opens up under 23. Yeah, McNulty's decent. Nathan Collins, very good. Alan Montez looks like he's back in the fold, isn't he? A couple of Zakarians. I think he just got injured, by the way, didn't he? Which is a bit of a killer, but Bass, love it. Emil Smith-Rowe. Okay, you got some decent mids. And then up front, what we got going on? A lot more going on up front. Yeah, and maybe get a couple of mids and defenders in. Or one of each, maybe. Just to give yourself a chance of having, one decent under-23 lineup going every week. But I wouldn't play him in Chal, I don't think. Even though he's in season. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing him in Chal. I think Haaland scored again, did he? Wow, Nico Williams is smashing, by the way. He's on 80 points. No, I missed the mark, didn't I? I missed the mark with, some of my, wow, that's mental. Finished on 80 points. That is impressive against Arsenal. Very impressive. Really weird season. Yeah, I agree with you. It has been really strange, hasn't it? Okay, Mojo, and then we'll finish on, well, maybe if Moso doesn't want a gallery review, that's completely fine if you just want to be part of the Discord and stuff, for sure. But Mojo says, I might not be able to watch the stream as I'll be flying from Canada back to New York. No worries, mate. However, I wanted to check if there are any gaps in my lineups, particularly in midfield and defence. Said in Laird Street earlier, he'll do well. Arsenal got no attackers. Yeah, it's the best time to play Arsenal right now, isn't it? With lack of goals. Should I consider dressing via champs? Also, took your advice, potentially join MLS and decided to free up some funds by selling most of my challenger cards just to try my hand and see how it goes. If there's any areas in my gallery that could be improved, I appreciate the feedback, although I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at right now. Also, if there's any La Liga mids I should look at, let me know. Okay, let me have a quick look at your La Liga just to see if you have some bits maybe that... La Liga mids, wasn't it? You have Isco, Baena, Modric, Furman, Lopez, Llorente. I'd say Baena is probably the only one that's like not Pedri or not Valverde or not Bellingham that like I would consider if we're talking La Liga. And then for champs, any gaps in midfield? Let's have a look. Vitinha, Santos, Højbjerg. Oh, you have Baena. How did I see them? Stupid. Sorry, lads. Isco, Højbjerg again. Nah, there's no gaps here. Sorry. I'm not seeing many gaps here at all. There's 2 or 3 rows there of usable mids for Champa. And what was it? Defense. He didn't really do much. Nowhere in Timber with finding Joe on his side, to be fair. Lots of clearances, yeah. It looks like he had a lot of tackles as well and stuff. Salah's blanking so far, isn't he? Defenders as well. I'm not seeing... Oh, hey Sam, what's going on, mate? New to the game, just randomly buying players I think will turn out decent. Failing, I think everyone starts off like that, Sam. You have to fail before you succeed in anything, I think, and I think that rings true in Sorare as well. But yeah, I appreciate you popping in, mate. Hope the content's helping you and stuff. And if you want some more like in-depth help and stuff, I think if you're interested in joining the old channel membership, the Discord's been. I'm sure Cameron can vouch for this, and maybe even Dosy. Discord could take you from like I don't know much on this, about this game, to like I feel comfortable in a good amount of time, or in a short space of time probably. So yeah, consider that, mate. £1 a week, and obviously I'll build your lineups for you every week as well, and obviously gallery reviews as well every month. But yeah, no stress if not, just letting you know. And then what was it? Defenders for Mojo here. Pacho Marquinhos. I mean, you don't have Hakimi. I know it's obvious, but Hakimi's probably the one to go with the PSG boys, isn't he? That you would think about mainly, I would say. Got Mata. I like Clinton Mata. I think he's a decent option. Klaus. I think Klaus comes to mind as well. Jonathan Klaus. You have a few Nice boys. I'm not seeing Klaus there, so. Yeah, no Klaus. Yeah, I'd say Klaus is the cheaper option, but definitely a Hakimi. Samurai says currently winning card in contender with 310 points. Wow, that feels very low, to be honest, mate. Yeah, the Discord is by far one of the best things to get in. So much info, picking up teams for transfers. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's grown into that for sure, hasn't it? So many resources in there now with people knowing things from all different, sides of the world and whatever, and yeah, it is a good community, like just top guys. I see Moso is replying to the gallery review right now, so we'll wait for him to do his bit and then we'll take it from there. Oh, Sam just became a member. Sam, you are an absolute legend, mate. Get yourself into the Discord, mate. Join the party. I'm telling you, if you don't improve your Sorare knowledge, then we need to close the Discord. Because, it's obviously doing the wrong thing. City game just finished. Membership well worth getting my gallery roasted. I love it. Let's roast Sam's gallery. Okay. Arne Schlottball is the name of the gallery. Just started playing MLS for the first time, and I think I've got myself some solid players and some depth. Do you feel like I really need to improve? Let's have a look. Mate. Let's have a look. Galise, Scholter, Siwa, nice, and Coronel, 4 in-season keepers, love it. Engel, love it. Escobar, Farsi's decent. Campbell's good. Eli, Hack, yeah, I like where you're going with this, for sure. Pep Biel, Angulo, Luna, Mihailovic, Bassett, not bad. Not bad as a 5. Oriano, Ojeda, Aranjo, yeah, your forwards are good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My only issue is you've got like more good forwards than you do mids in general. Like you literally have 5. I think I want to see at least another 1 midfielder in there, because on paper you could only go like you couldn't play 3 lineups here and have two midfielders in each lineup because you'd need 6, right? So I think definitely add a midfielder or 2 into this. It doesn't have to be anyone amazing. Like, you could even go Ashley Westwood to go with Pep Biel, as a little midfield combo there, potentially, to go with Zaha, little Charlotte FC sort of midfield attacking stack. Luna, even a Pablo Ruiz to go with a Luna maybe, just to keep it on RSL there. Like, I'm just thinking of cheapish players. But yeah, you're there. I'd say a couple of more mids. Give yourself a bit more choice, I would say, when it comes to midfielders. Gully, what's happening, mate? No worries at all. Just got our meetings. That's completely fine, mate. Yeah, we went. We didn't roast your gallery, but yeah, we went into some nice depth on your gallery, mate. But I really appreciate the message. I really, really do. But yeah, pretty straightforward that one for you, Moso. I would say it's just, yeah, midfielders. Midfielders is probably a kryptonite right there. I'm going to wait for Sam to get his... Sam, if you're in the... is Sam in? I thought Sam was in. Moscow. We've had 2 Sams join, which is weird today. Literally had 2. But I guess he's not in right now. Maybe he is, I don't know. I'm currently bidding on a Carlos Gil. Nice. That's fine. Yeah, Carlos Gil works. But yeah, like I said, I think we've had 2 Sams join today. So new Sam, or the newest Sam, the one that wants me to roast his gallery. Let me know your gallery name, or yeah, get yourself into Discord as well, so I can so I can get you on stream and stuff. If I can't do it on stream, I'll do it. I'll just send you a voice note or whatever on Discord and let you know what I think. If you don't want me to roast it in public, but yeah, just let me know, mate. I've got a screaming baby to get to, so kind of probably need to make a move. So I'll give it a minute. If we don't get anything back, then we can crack on Discord and stuff. Sam Wilson. I'm sure we had a Sam Wilson before I'm sure we had a Sam Wilson before, Brennan. Love it. Let's see what you got going on here. Okay, so a bit of MLS, a bit of Prem, a bit of Champ. Little bit all over the shop. Aziel Jackson. I'm guessing you're a United fan. And Contender as well. I know it's like from your perspective, I don't know how long you've been playing, but I commented on your video. Yeah, I do recognise it for sure. I recognise the second name. Did McAllister just score, did he? I would say, I say it usually like to people who play everything, but not like nothing like in depth. Chop something off, personally. Chop off a Contender. Chop off a, whatever isn't as. I mean, they're all maybe equally as fun to you right now, but chop off the one that like you just feel like you're up against it a little bit. Like your Champ stuff looks actually quite good. Like Skorupski if he plays, like Klaus, a couple of decent players here that can pop. But like, yeah, I don't know really what your Contender stuff's saying, to be honest. And yeah, not that would really amount to much if you were to sell them, but like just focus on just hone in on certain leagues. Like don't try and be a jack of all trades at the start, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. Amador, Berkey, Guzan, Bravo, Aziel Jackson. I mean, you've got the bones of it. You've got a decent defensive goalkeeper stack. You're gonna need better mids and forwards though, if you want to play MLS like to a decent degree, I would say. Yeah, Dosy says their big mistake I've done. Everyone does it, mate. I did it at the start, literally like 4 years ago. Nothing really changes. You just got to learn from it. But I'd rather tell you now than you find out years later. Not years, but months down the line. I'd rather be told now than later. But yeah, lads, I do need to make a move because I've got a screaming baby, like I said. So, yeah, I massively appreciate you. I'm just looking there. Soberside's on an 85, by the way. We could be flying here. Yeah, I'm into 5th. Don't think that holds, though. I'm into 5th in Super. Anyway, I need to shoot. It's been, 2 hours 40. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, appreciate all the new lads into the Discord, and we'll do some lineup building tomorrow. And yeah, good luck for this midweek and obviously the weekend, but I'll get with you on Discord and